spot. X6, Combok Spirit, MVP Space, Flash Lux, and Mighty AOD all locked in their spot. One of these two proud organizations, both of them with sister teams, both of them committed to Korean Overwatch. There can only be one. There can be two of us, though. That's why we're on screen for just a moment for what is the 15th and final best of 5 of Super Week. It's been a long one. We've had some changes. We had day one, then we had a new patch, and we've had
multiple casters.
Yep.
Been swapping in and out.
We're just swapping in and out. We're enjoying our action, but it all ends here, and picking a win is tough. The only thing that I really will stick to is that this is not going to be a 3-0. I cannot see a 3-0 here. Both these teams, even today, have shown a lot. We could be going to all 5.
Yeah, it really seems like that's going to be the case, and especially because the last time that these guys faced off, because this is a rematch, it did go to all 5 games. Very close. Afreeca, Freecs Red, able to close it out in the end, but barely so on that last map of Nimbani.
Yeah, it went long, like you say, and there's been some really good individual players on both sides. Mango, obviously, I'm a huge fan of, and he's had some great games. It's actually overshadowed by Envy, who was popping off in our last series just a second ago. His Pharah was good. May see some Pharah battles.
And this is something that, you kind of have to be concerned about for Afreeca going into this. Envy really showing his prowess on that, whereas Atune, he's had a couple good performances, but overall it's been less than stellar with his Pharah. His McCree has had its moments, so perhaps we'll see that, or the Soldier coming out to try to counter it from the sky. But we already saw from Envy, MVP Infinity had nothing that they could use to take him down, even with McCree, Soldier, Tracer, everybody being thrown at him. Just could not stop him.
And that's kind of an extended bench for Envy, because he's not actually known necessarily as a Pharah primary person like Fleta, for example.
Yeah.
You look at his match history, Roadhog, Genji, they're more of his picks, so throwing in the Pharah and certainly doing well, whereas Atune, you look at him as basically McCree Tracer. McCree has been one of his big picks for sure, but like you say, he's had good isolated Pharah games, good McCree games, good rounds, you would say, but it hasn't been the Atune that really matches the hype around the player, because he's certainly one of the big names, especially of Afreeca Red.
Yeah. But all right, these guys both ready to go. You can see the intense stares of the players sitting in the booths.
They can't actually. They can only see us.
Well, it was on screen for just a second.
Just a moment.
It was there. And then we turned Korean for like half a second,
Yep.
and then we came back to this. So
We're very talented, it turns out.
Yeah, Metamorphosis, we've mastered that. Transform into whatever we want, but for right now, we want to be the 2 English commentators for Apex Super Week. But, a lot of pressure, especially on Afreeca Red. Already had to play that best of 5 earlier today. Really long break, as I'm sure you guys were more than aware of.
About 2:50 p.m. local time is now.
It's about 4 hours. It was about 4 hours in between the first set and then our last one right there.
But more importantly, they finished around 2:50 p.m. It's 8:30, so they've been sitting there waiting for the best part of 6 hours to play the match, obviously with frustrations after losing to Flash Lux. Working through that, they are all professional gamers. They have support staff. It's not Flash Lux. There is definitely an extended support staff for both teams, but still a tough ask. One best of 5, all the pressure on. The longer road, certainly for Rhino Gaming Wings, though, who have already played 5 sets of the 15 that we've had, or the 14 that we've had. This is their 6th.
They're going the distance. They're playing the maximum amount of games that you could possibly play to earn yourself a spot. So if it ends with a loss, it's going to be a little bit heartbreaking for them, because they had to do more than any other team so far in this run, and more than anybody will be able to do. This is the 5th game here for Afreeca, the 6th for Rhinos. So they are they've been given the runaround a little bit, but they want to come out on top. They're fresh off of that 3-0 win against MVP Infinity, so if they can carry that momentum forward, maybe they can come out with a victory here today. Afreeca, though, it's all about maintaining that focus with that long break in between. They've had plenty of time to think about the matchup. Could have assumed safely that MVP Infinity would not be their opponent here today, so likely had prepared for Rhino.
And the run-up is significant. Remember that Challengers is played online. This is the offline league. Everyone wants to be in Apex, even though Challengers is what you have to accept.
It's the hip and cool place to be.
Oh, absolutely. It's popping off, I hear, over the water cooler. But we're going to look at
it's the after-school spot.
We're going to look at Afreeca Freecs Red. I don't know if we'll call them the after-school team, but they are certainly the team with some stars here. Atune, like we mentioned, Quartermain, the rap god, as I called him earlier today. If you were watching the Apex Season 2 final, you remember that he was the one who won the Best Karaoke Singer Award among professional League of Legends players. If he drops down to Challenger, professional Overwatch players. League of Legends players would be a different story. But the drop down would be severe for Afreeca Freecs, having to send them back down to challengers.
Yeah, be a bit of a blow there for the org. Still do have blue inside Apex, but want to be able to be that only organization that say, look at this. We have our sister teams in here, both of them worthy of competing in Apex. Currently the only LAN league running.
And with the Titans already gone, the Wings are the only hope for Rhino's Gaming. Looking at Rhino's Gaming here. Again, Mango the big star for me. Not necessarily in their last match, although that was a pretty comfortable victory over Infinity. Envy popping off on the Pharah. Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
That was, he was definitely the shining star. Would have won the MVP for that match if we were handing those out. But I'd like to see actually, a Superweek MVP at the end of all of this.
It's the casters.
It's
I'll
us.
take a gold star.
All right, you know what? I will too. That doesn't get us any extra pay, but that's all right. We do
Here
this
for love of the game, damn it.
Exactly. Just out of sheer love.
Map pool will be interesting. We did some adjustments already today. No sighting of Numbani in the list last time out. Yeah, went the full 5 games. I'm ready for a full 5 games. No need for an early night. I want some sick Overwatch to take us through. A lot of Ilios so far today.
Yeah, we'll see if we get it for a 3rd time in a row, but we'll have that changed up. We haven't seen Nepal in a while, but it's going to be Ilios yet again, so I hope you're all
Scripted
ready to
maps,
go.
baby.
Woo! Kicking things off, and we will go back to Greece. Perfect. All right. We'll see how these guys are going to fare, because Rhinos should be warmed up. Afreeca, I don't believe they played. Yeah, I don't think they've. Or they played it earlier on today.
Yeah, they were the ones that dashed over to the Lighthouse to try and deal with the Pharah rather than Attune starting with a Pharah of his own. So we'll see if they open Lighthouse when they get there, or should they get there on the Pharah duty, because it was looking pretty damn good for the side of Rhino's game.
Yeah, almost slipped my mind. So both of these guys having played Ilios pretty fresh in recent memory. We'll see how this fares for them as we get ready to move in. So a lot on the line. Taking this first map, riding that wave of momentum forward into the set is going to be so very important for either team. Afreeca Freecs having the upper hand from winning this 3-2 last time out. Let's see if they can replicate that, maybe even improve on it, or if Rhinos will find themselves with an advantage. Let's go ahead, load up onto Ilios and get this best of 5 underway.
You know, we've been pretty generous this week. We've been getting it a lot. The teams have been qualifying for Apex, their ultimate it a lot. We've only got one more to give out. One more slot into Apex Season 3. There can only be one between Afreeca Freecs Red and Rhino Gaming Wings. And again, all we could really split these two teams on is the fact that last time out, victory went over to Rhinos, and last time out also, it went the full 5 games.
Yep. How they fare right now, showing the Devil Pharmacy comp from either side. And given the performance, I already kind of mentioned it, Attune, the Pharah has been a bit lackluster from him, so expecting Envy to have the upper hand in this exchange. But we'll see how much work can be done on the side of the Afreeca Freecs. Already a couple body shots coming through as Navi eats one.
Oh boy, there's the direct.
Yep. See Envy showing his prowess yet again. As he starts zoning down in, and that's going to be Creed and Navi both falling right off the bat. Starting things off with a literal bang.
Big win here for Rhino Gaming Wings in the salvo. Like we kind of outlined, Envy winning the Pharmacy duo. They're going to be able to capture the point very, very easily. They will also be able to control the high ground. Very difficult approach now for Afreeca Freecs Red.
Yeah, we'll see how they want to come back into this one. Attune still sticking with the Pharah. Only at 15% on that ulti charge. Just has not been able to land the rockets. And honestly, at this point, at 70%, the majority of that's just going to be passive game.
Feels like all that Red can do is really try and control the ground, because right now, they only have Attune to deal with the enemy Pharah. 2 more picks. Speaking of which, Attune does get the pick onto Envy this time. They're turning it around.
Yeah, that's going to be 3 going down here. As they start forcing their way in onto the point, looking for the cap. And seems like they may just be able to get it. Fury pushing back in, trying to delay as long as he can. Look at that mech popped and he'll fall. Capture does come through, 38% accrued for Wings. So not the worst start, but a pretty decently fast retake for Afreeca.
Not a big gain onto Agape, who wasn't able to heal through Envy at any points, because they won the first salvo so one-sidedly, and now big res advantage on the side for Freecs Red.
Pulse bomb coming down. Creed finding him. Nice little stop here, keeping him out. Primal Rage will be available when he comes back in, so more delay tactics will be here for Wings. I'll have him to try to knock people off the point and get the cap rolling back through, but already Afreeca posturing a bit further forward, trying to hold Wings into those choke points as much as they can.
A lot of ult advantage for Wings, but not quite the res, which once again Agape is a fairly low charge on.
Oxo calls out the pulse bomb, gonna connect in onto the barrier, won't even break that. Now has to dash back, looking for a tune, takes him rather low. Last couple shots will do it. He's taking him out from the ground floor, finds Navi as well, so dismantling that pharmacy comp single-handedly. Barrage coming down in the meantime from Envy. Bounces itself away from that self-destruct, and Wings will have the retake.
Yeah, Navi dead, and also Mango once again booping like he was earlier today on this particular map on Lighthouse. Means that the quick swift change is over, and they do have the res to counter the res available for Navi. So watch the health bars of Mercy closest when you see the harassment coming out, because the Mercy that lives is going to present a massive team-wide advantage.
Yep. Keep going down early. Be bad for both sides. You see Attune pushing forward, trying to get that takedown on Agape. Won't be able to find it. Sound barrier coming through for Afreeca.
Mango's dead, died just as his ultimate came up.
Yeah, they want to try to get back in here, get this retake. Barrage is available for Attune, trying to find an angle. Getting low though. Drift his way back up onto the safe ground. Will be able to do so. Actually takes out Agape.
Both healers dead on the side of Wings, so this should inevitably be the win unless no picks come through and Mercy respawn.
They're buying a lot of time here between Winston and D.Va. They will both fall, and Envy goes down off the side. Attune snipes him out, and Afreeca will go ahead and retake this one. 60% for them, 91 for Wings. They need to hold on to this for as long as possible.
Yeah, while it took a while for the kill feed to catch up with both healers down, the fight realistically only goes one way. In this case, the way of Afreeca Red. Mango did not have the sound barrier. It wasn't that he held on to it, he died as 100% ticked up. Now the control is there for Afreeca Red, but we're going to see a pretty titanic contest.
Yep, sound barrier coming through. Wings going to have that available to them. And Attune not far enough away from that self-destruct. Gets taken out as Fury finds the kill. Now that's going to open up Envy to go in for the double kill. Gets Rio, gets Navi. Pulse bomb coming down from Creed. Won't connect in onto anybody. Cannot take out Oxo. He's still going to be sprinting around and actually wins the Tracer duel in the end. Rydala flying back in, loses the mech, will go down very quickly as the retake comes through from Wings as the overtime ticks in for Afreeca. Wings going to be looking for one of their own, and Envy posturing far forward, has the barrage ready to go, lands one body shot in, goes straight into the barrage, takes out Attune, takes
Navi
out
as well.
Navi, absolutely annihilates them, stops the contest, and the first round goes over to Rhino.
And Envy once again wins the Pharah duel right at the last. Great stall by just putting out the barrage, got both the Mercy and the Pharah. Pharah first, no time for a Mercy res, taken out almost instantly afterwards. First point goes over. The team with the more superior Pharah on the day, and that's Rhino Gaming Wings.
Yep. And again, this is the concern with Attune coming in, trying to match. Doesn't go for the McCree, doesn't go for something on the ground where he can just try to assassinate from range.
Now, I don't mind that just because, remember, earlier today, they tried the Soldier, they tried rushing to point. They couldn't know for sure they'd be against the Pharah, but come on, you're against Flash Lux. You expect Fleta to run it at first invitation, and that didn't work either. They ended up late switching to the Pharah and not taking the point. So this time, went for the Pharmacy versus Pharmacy duel, but went the way of Rhino Gaming Wings.
Yep. Oxo coming back out here, has that Widowmaker ready to roll. Not getting slept yet like we saw from him last time. Getting a couple hits in, goes low as Creed comes around the backside, drops that poison trap, but it's still just one hit from dead. Not getting anything here from the rest of his team. Mango and Agape not able to get in range. Rio getting slept right in midair as he leaps through. Will get locked down. Still hasn't fallen yet. Looks like he will be okay in the end. Creed just trying to find a kill, but Agape pushes forward. Hits him in the face, gets that kill coming in.
Actually getting the respawn as well as Oxo's back on the McCree.
Oh yeah, that's going to be the pop there on the D.Va mech, pushing him out of the point as Envy goes forward here on this Zarya. Already seen this from him. We know how deadly he can be. And he's just fiercely shoving up, soaking up that energy, building up for that Graviton surge. Already 80% of the way there.
First pick did go the way of Afreeca Red, but They weren't able to profit on the respawn timer of Widowmaker. Oxo gets to regroup with the team as the first few picks come through for Rhino Gaming Wings. So now the charge starts to build up. Already close to both support ultimates. And wow, very high charge on the Zarya as Tidal just switches over. So going to be Graviton Surge very shortly for Rhino Gaming Wings.
Yeah, honestly, we could just see this. You see Mango here having that ready to go on the nano boost because he had just popped out onto Envy with the Graviton Surge, just trying to wipe them out.
4 ults though, no rush to use one. 5 now for Rhino Gaming Wings.
Yep, Rio going in, finds the charge, locking down Oxo, and he will fall. Tidal finishes him off. Graviton Surge comes down, self-destruct up in the air, pops down, finds Quartermain. And they'll just go ahead and try to clean up a little bit, but honestly, Afreeca Red swinging back, taking out the tanky members of Wings. They get rid of Mango as well. They're going to finally find the cap, 48% accrued for Rhinos, and a nice little turnaround from Afreeca.
One of those times where the ult investments doesn't pay off. Went for the bigger bang, but only got the Lucio. And really good turnaround against the flow of the game for Afreeca. Freecs Red didn't have the tools ult-wise to win. When you're in Challengers and not Apex, sometimes having that ult lead can be deceptive. Misfire from Rhino Gaming Wings, and now you just completely see over with big ult advantage for Afreeca Freecs Red.
Soon, going to be looking for this Deadeye. Couple open shots there. It's a little bit of damage in, over won't find much, and Oxo goes in for his own, but Creed throws down that pulse bomb right in front of him, takes out the McCree. Day getting slapped. Looks like he may be able to exit with his life. Creed still just trying to harass from the sidelines, constantly flanking around, building up towards yet another pulse bomb. Won't find it yet, but Wings are just getting cleaned up and swept under the rug. The unofficial team kill coming through, and Afreeca Red will finally surpass him on the percentage.
And Achilleos Creed beasted it there. They were looking for the electric cowboy, wanted to pop it late, but the pulse bomb AoE and the fairly stationary Deadeye answered by Creed individually, and then just a mop up from there. Really, really nice. Rhino Gaming only had 2 ults, tried to chain them, but the interrupt from the pulse bomb was big.
Really good stuff there by Creed, playing very well on this racer thus far. Graviton Surge comes out, but it gets eaten by the Diva. Not going to come through. And maybe that's the turnaround that Wings need. Still limited on the ultimates, but they already take out Rio and Tidal. The tanky members of Afreeca dead, and Quartermain looking like he's going to follow suit, and he does. Wings pushing back in. They get the retake. 49% for them. 85 on the climb for Afreeca, so dangerously close to 100.
Yeah, big mistake from Tidal. He was against a Reinhardt shoot that didn't look like it was going down, and the Diva just casually walked up and ate the Graviton Surge. All that charge for nothing, and now familiar spot. Rhino Gaming in full control when it comes to the ult meter. We've already seen ults misfired. There's an ult though. This one registers.
Yeah, Envy tossing out his self-destruct thrown down, looking for that bigger bang. Not going to find it. Big heal deny comes through on the members of Afreeca Red, but overall they'll be okay, and that's going to be the sound barrier coming through to keep them even safer. Attune snipes out Oxo, but now gets knocked down during mid-Deadeye by that Earth Shatter there from Umte. Won't be able to follow up with the kill. He gets the refund, so Ultimate's still going to be there for him. Creed goes down. Trading back, Rio swinging in, taking out Umte. Gabe goes down as well, and Wings just keep falling throughout the duration of this.
The defensive formation with these ultimates just doesn't work here on Ruins a second time for Rhino Gaming's Wing. So once again, the flip comes over. They mismanage their ultimates, gotta say. Gotta work on the Zarya synergy on the side of Rhino Gaming Wings, because it hasn't worked.
Yep, and now Afreeca just pushing as far forward as they can. Earth Shatter here from Rio to try to buy enough time. Overtime coming through now, they need the contest. Somebody already on the point, it's gonna be the Tracer. Taking down the rest of Afreeca. Trying to hold this as Rhinos goes pushing in. Rio, taking his time, playing patiently, pops it out, finds Fury, doesn't get much more than that, but the Graviton Surge comes down, locks up Empty, and the Flame Strike comes through, finishes him off. Oxo trades one back in onto Navi, but overall Afreeca starting to run away with this as they keep sweeping through. Envy over onto the Tracer, dashing around, trying to buy time, won't be able to do it. They'll go ahead and tie it up. Afreeca winning on Ruins.
Yeah, gotta say, did actually feel like 6th place challenger team being decided in this particular spot. Specifically Rhino Gaming Wings, finding themselves in great spots with a massive ultimate arsenal and misfiring, specifically on defense around there. They need to really tighten up their setups on defense because they were set up to succeed early in the map and late, and yet misfired, specifically around the Zarya Graviton Surge combos. Going for the bigger bang rather than looking for a smaller win seemed to allow the defense to come through from Afreeca. Ended up being deserved winners on a map that looked like it would be a 2-0 for Rhino Game.
Yep. Very nicely done, Afreeca holding on tight, but now one more round here on Ilios to go.
It's well timed.
Yeah, before we can decide who is going to be the forerunners in this series. You can see Attune. He's on the McCree. Meanwhile, Pharmacy coming out from Wings. Afreeca should be expecting this.
I'm ready to see the better Lucio win. The boops are always the story on well.
Mango's been doing some serious work. But Quartermain, we know he excels when it comes down to those payload maps, constantly buying time for the team.
Attune vs Envy has been the story. On the first map, it was the Pharah battle, but now it's McCree vs Pharah still. Very basically, the only soft counter available for Afreeca Red.
Gap starting to come through. Wings sitting on it now. Afreeca will go ahead and start the contest. Kills coming in yet. Umte goes dangerously low. Still manages to kill Rio right in the end. Should get popped back up. Might be a big enough opening here for Rhinos. As Envy just keeps pushing forward. Doesn't even have the Pharah on him yet, but just fearlessly goes in. Chunking out, building up towards that barrage steadily. Wings get the cap. Now chasing down multiple members. They get rid of Tydala, buying themselves some crucial time with these respawns. Creed falls as well. Nicely done here by Oxo.
And when these Pharmacy comps actually win an extended skirmish, then the point, you know that Rez is going to be up as another frustrating factor to allow them to stall and gain a very big first collect. 22% already on the control meter, and a lot of tools to try and hold that point.
Yeah, I mean, having this Rez for a game would be absolutely massive. Tydala very close to having that Graviton Surge, however. 95% built up for him. Let's see if he can find the rest of it. He's going to be coming in through now. Just needs a clump of members here of Wings to go ahead and toss this one out. Pulse Bomb coming down. He gets taken out. The double kill coming through for Oxo as he gets Creed as well. Deadeye from Attune does find Umte. Can't get much more than that. And Wings still going to be maintaining control. Attune going low. The Biotic Grenade keeping him up for the moment, but still Oxo's tracking. Unprecedented at the moment, and there's your boop into the pit. Envy finds it with a concussive blast, knocks Rio into his own death, and 60% here for Wings, having a much cleaner hold on well.
Yeah, Tydala, as he died throughout the Graviton Surge. Now he swapped to D.Va straight afterwards. Hard to say whether that was just using a cooldown when he was already going to switch or frustration, but Afreeca Red have already mixed it up. Quartermain, like you say, first to die. They don't have ults, they don't have percentage. They are set up to fail, barring some heroics from the man on your screen. That was Attune.
And I'm curious how far away that was, because Envy's been playing this spot for the last minute or so. So if he was just able to just get Quartermain with multiple rockets at a distance, that is pretty damn impressive, you'd have to say.
Basically blind firing at the spawn walkthrough. Times it works out.
Afreeca, that's going to be the sound barrier coming in. They need to start getting in here for the contention.
Gabe's just going to stay on high ground waiting for anyone to die. No one so far for Rhino Gaming.
Yeah, Boop coming through. He's just trying to delay onto Attune. Barrage coming down, taking a little bit of chip damage from his own blast, but he goes down, but the res comes through. Popped right back up. Creed going in, trying to kill Mango. Won't be able to find it. Gets traded back as Mango boops him to death. Dala, the only one on the point right now, will get popped out. Over time, ticking down. Tracer can't get there in time, and that's going to be map 1 picked up by Rhino.
If you learn one thing from that map, if you try and force a Pharmacy battle of any sort, Rhinos Gaming has the tonic to take down Afreeca Freecs Red. I expect them to visit that multiple times, because Attune has taken to the skies on Pharah and looked for the McCree and been found wanting on both, and we've already seen the Pharmacy from Envy and the rest of Rhinos Gaming take down MVP Infinity in pretty short order. So maybe even map drafting away from Pharmacy safe comps is a smart idea for the side of Afreeca Freecs Red.
Well, we'll see where they decide to go. That pool in that regard going to be a bit limited, what with Kings Row and Eichenwald in that pool. Both of those maps going to be perfectly fine for the Pharmacy to come out, at least on the first point there for Kings Row.
Been a lot of we'll take defense on Kings Row, which of course is very, very standard. Great Roadhog map. Waiting to see where Afreeca Freecs Red elect to go.
Let's see, Battlegrounds coming up now. See what their pick is going to be. Hollywood also available, but all three of these can be very open for that Pharmacy comp to excel in. It will be Hollywood.
I don't mind this choice, given the alternatives here from the perspective of Afreeca Freecs Red. Setup is always so interesting on defense. We've seen the aggressive defense, we've seen the more static defense on the top of Big Earls. So Feels like Hollywood is really developing in terms of defense strategies. On point A, sorry.
See how they go ahead and how they manage this one. This was the victory here, one of the victories for Afreeca Red in their earlier set against Flash Lux. We saw them didn't get the full shove into the second point, but were able to get the defense. See if they can go ahead and replicate that, and hopefully for their sake, go ahead and push all the way to the end.
Chapsticks out for Rhino Gaming Wings. They take a 2-0 lead. Reverse sweeps haven't been happening this week, you'll remember. They'll feel very confident going into our first break.
Yeah, haven't really seen any of those. And could be the makings of one, perhaps, if Rhinos win map 2 and Afreeca can go ahead and close out from there. But I think they want to go ahead and start with the victory right here in map number 2, go into the break, be able to talk about the win, talk about how they're going to play off of that, continue snowballing it. But for now, we're all set to load up for our second map, last one before the break, as we get ready for Hollywood. Afreeca picking up the win earlier. Let's see if they can do it here again today versus Rhinos Gaming Wings, or if Rhinos will just be moving on to match point.
I get it.
All right, fans still trying to offer up their energy to their teams. We'll see if it's going to work out for them. See Afreeca starting things off here on the assaulting side. And it will just be that triple tank coming through for Wings. D.Va, Zarya, and Reinhardt. Not going to be seeing the Roadhog.
The Roadhog on defense, when it's triple tank, is a surprise whatever the map. Kings Row, Hollywood in this case. Soldier very standard, of course, when it comes to managing the high ground.
Envy on this Zarya, though, is pretty deadly. So, kind of understand it. Decent zone control here for that first point. Try to couple in with the bigger bang, tack visor. It's a couple different options here.
Waiting to see the formation of the attacking side for Freecs Red.
Tune, likely just going to be scouting. Oh, no, never mind. Thinks better of it. Won't go for that Sonic Arrow. Just go straight in for the McCree. And we'll see pretty much a mirror coming in outside of the DPS.
Not a dive comp here on attack on Freecs Red. Something a bit different. Looking to really set up the McCree. See if it tunes up to the task.
You're going to try to push right here forward. Reno going in for the charge, but just ends up in no man's land away from his squad. Creed will go over here to back him up, trying to lock down Envy. Get quite a bit of energy. Needs to make it out of here with his life, and does so, at least for the moment. Meanwhile, Tidala goes down. Umte swinging his way to success, and Oxo gets rid of Creed. So Afreeca's attack already going to be halted by Wings.
This one for pretty much a brute force Lucio speed boost attack. Not with a dive comp either. It didn't feel like the comp was necessarily set up to look for such a dive, and given how mirrored it was, no success found for Freecs Red.
I mean, I guess if you get the pin there from Rio, maybe it's a success because you can very easily take somebody out, but completely whipping that one, ending up by himself in the back of the fight.
Doesn't really seem like the percentage play, but Rio has been charge happy if you're to criticize his Ryan play.
You want to talk about charge happy? Look at Envy already, 78, 80 now % on that Graviton Surge, just continuously stacking up towards it. Rio going low, and he'll fall. I'll keep finishing him off. And again, Wings pushing forward. That's going to be the nano boost coming through. 90 energy Zarya just melting the members of Afreeca Red. Tidala desperately trying to run away, just cannot do it. The tracking from Envy is just so on point.
Yeah, just wasn't convinced with what Afreeca Red drafted here in terms of putting together a team comp, and now they're in a weird spot where, are they going to change anything up? You get to interesting time banks. Okay, first change we see, Creed actually just changing through to get the mechs, so throw that out. They're going to keep what they're doing. Couple of eco pushes is the most optimistic way you could call the first two, but a lot of answering.
Envy waiting around the corner, gets a massive Graviton Surge thrown down. The charge forward, the bigger bang comes out, a double kill. Pops the mech, looking for the triple here for Fury, and Afreeca Red completely shut out yet again with just 2 ultimates here from Wings. Clock now below 2 minutes. Just 5.5% accrued for Afreeca Red.
And Mango's close to the being able to supply the nano visor as well, as the nano boost was used earlier, as we saw, onto the Zarya, soon to be available again. Afreeca Red, they have the ultimates they're looking for, but still Tidal are frustrated on bringing up the Graviton Surge.
Yep. So far behind, 75% only. June trying to come up in on the high ground.
And a boost,
the
electric
electric
cowboy.
Goes in with that dead eye. The
Slap.
sleep dart comes through. Completely shut down by Mango on point. And now Oxo going to be looking for the kill. And it's going to be a no-brainer. Gets that one. Helix Rockets taking him down. Trying to find Quartermain. Bionic Grenade keeps him alive on the exit. But again, it is just an exit. We'll be looking for a couple more picks on the way out. Won't be able to find it this time around, but Afreeca just getting shut down over and over again. Less than a minute now, and they're gonna have to go for a Hail Mary.
And the 3 most crucial ults are up, and Ty may be able to farm the Graviton. Almost certainly will, but look at Envy's in a great spot. It's not spot. They didn't check their corners.
Yet again,
Here it comes.
goes out the Graviton Surge. Deja vu for Afreeca Red. Oxo goes down, but so does Ty. And this is just gonna be the cleanup yet again for Wings. Just not respecting the potential of Envy and where he could be hiding at any given moment. Attune will get that kill, but they're still shoved so far back. It's 20 seconds remaining. They have an Earth Shatter and Attack Visor to try to stave
wasn't
off.
in position though, waiting for Soldier to get back. He just gets back that they will not have their Zarya. That's why Envy changes to Tracer.
The Deadeye does come through. They're looking for something. Ty making his way up to the high ground. Has a Graviton Surge, pops it, puts them up into the air. Electric Cowboy firing away here for Attune. Is this going to be enough? Bang coming out the self-destruct. Not going to find much other than popping Creed's mech. As Wings tries to push back in, trying to buy time. You can see here Mango about to fall. Fury still sticking around, relatively healthy on this Diva. Loses the mech. The rest of Wings trying to rejoin on the team, but this might just be the cap in overtime for Afreeca. Won't have too much to work their way through streets, but I think this might just be conceded. But no, actually Wings are going to come back in for this one. Umti has that Earth Shatter, throws it down, doesn't find anything. And that should just be it going over to Afreeca. There we go. The cap comes through. 2.5 minutes to work their way through streets.
90% of a full hold played there by Rhino Gaming's, but crucially, when it mattered, pushed up too far for a pick, did Envy. Died in the front line. They never got to use the Tactical Visor. Oxo has died 3 times with Tactical Visor available. It kept pushing up for picks, which was so successful at the start, but by the end, we see the 4th time Oxo dies in a row. They just got too confident. They thought the job was done 30 seconds before it was.
Certainly looked that way. Envy swapping back now onto that Zarya. Trying not to, doesn't have to be sprinting back to the point here as that Tracer, but already a very comfortable shove coming through from Afreeca. Had extra time because of all those respawns, now going back to that point 3 spawn. So it buys them a bit of extra comfort as they work their way, but need to round this second to last corner. The Deadeye coming through, Tune's gonna pop a shot out, doesn't get much. Has to retreat, taking just a bit too much damage here. Have Na'Vi go ahead and heal him up, work his way closer towards that nano boost.
So some great ultimates here for Rhino Gaming Wings. One day we will see a Tactical Visor.
It'll happen at some point.
Likely in the next minute, that's for sure.
Self-destruct coming through. Tossing that one out is Fury.
Reinhardt's already dead.
It's going to be the nano boost coming in. Big pin onto Ty. Sleep Dart comes down, and they actually trade this one back in onto Umte, but Oxo takes out Quartermain. Graviton Surge here from Ty as they try to trade back, trying to get multiple kills. None coming through, and actually it's going to be Wings who find them. The Tac Visor coming out from Oxo finally picks up 2. Cesaria and Liana go down. Creed trying to exit. Look at that mech pop. And that's all the work they needed to do. They'll let him go ahead, run back to the spawn, swap off, swap back in to get the mech.
Crucially, Envy, while very high ult percentage, does not have Graviton to start camping in a very aggressive spot. Overtime push required last time, would require another one. Creed's actually just dead. Now they delayed his spawn.
I mean, this is enough time.
Some.
Now Envy can get into a sneaky position to try to drop this one down. Kept them by surprise for the 3rd time this game. Gets it passively.
Oh no, the pick onto Genji. This might actually be an aborted push already, and it needs to be a big one.
Oh, there we go. Everybody getting locked into the Graviton Surge with just a couple seconds left. Can anyone tag
Triple
it?
kill.
Triple kill comes through from Creed, but it's only Rio there. Tune now sprinting in as that Tracer gonna try to tag, stay safe, trying to get some health back here. Well, he lets his Diva sit on top of the payload. He goes down though. Idala does rejoin. Creed getting his mech pop. Dashing forward, trying to get the kill onto a game, will not be able to find it, gets taken out. But still, Afreeca trying to buy some time, trying to keep tagging tags in onto this payload as they enter overtime, but it's starting to plummet every time they step away. 1 second would do it, and there it is. The hold coming through Rhinos. Very nicely done on the Streets phase.
That was the epitome of a Rhinos gaming match in that they did 2/3 almost perfect, but right at the last at point A, and then a slight misstep with the triple kill coming through, they left a bit of doubt. These are challenger teams. They will have time to retool if they are to make it through to Apex. The end result is a very good defense. Sure, not a full hold, but only halfway down the Streets phase is a very achievable push for Rhino Gaming Wings.
Really nicely done. Now, don't have to go too far to close this out and be at match point going into the break. Afreeca pressure was already on this morning when they couldn't close out their first set, but now it's got to be sweltering in that booth.
It really should have been a full hold, if you ask me, for Rhino Gaming Wings, and the fact that they got further is a win for Afreeca Red, but it's the smallest of wins. It's the consolation prize and then some.
It's a glimmer of hope.
And the sad thing is, if they get the consolation prize for this match, it's going to be a seed in Challengers, which is certainly not what they're looking for in this particular game. So we're looking at the setup. Shouldn't be surprised to see a tune on the McCree. In fact, nothing remarkable from the defensive setup from Afreeca Freecs Red.
Yep. And we saw there in that game, on the attack, could have maybe had it a bit faster if Afreeca didn't play so stubbornly with swapping off heroes. They keep trying to run the same thing over and over again, not making any adaptations or alterations to the compositions.
Which wasn't their story in the first set, you'll remember. We complimented both teams on fast swaps between Flash Lux and Afreeca Freecs Red, so surprised to see them be a bit more dogged.
They're falling back into it. This is what we were seeing from them every other time they played in this Superweek tournament. But now Wings coming out.
Well,
like Oxo.
If we see a lot of triple tank on every map, certainly a great spot for Reaper, and we will see Reaper from Oxo.
All right.
He's gotten relatively stronger against the D.Va, you'll remember, with all the D.Va tweaks and how the armor is lower than the health value.
I mean, we saw this on the payload earlier on today.
That's one thing, but the actual straight-up push on a hybrid map is something different.
Yeah, we'll see how this is going to be handled here as they go in for the take on the point. Everybody just diving in on top of the limousine.
Who's so low? It's dead.
Already going low, getting taken out by the boop from Fury, just dashing into him. See Oxo going low, one final swing does take him out. 3 kills picked up here for Afreeca Red. Wings still holding on tight, trying to stay in this fight. But it looks like they're just going to go ahead and lose this one out. Fury tries to exit, gets taken down midair, and now is going to be stuck in that Baby D.Va, so likely going to have to go back in, swap off, swap back over.
Bit of an eco push from Rhino Gaming Wings. Their first opening one didn't do massively. Like you say, Fury goes to reset, then straight back to the D.Va.
Which is really painful because any ultimate charge that you built up goes away.
It was around 50%, like you say, but knew there was no way that the Baby D.Va would be killed.
Yep,
and no environmental deaths here on Hollywood.
So now, again, coming through onto this high ground is Wings. They're going to start piling in onto the point. Oxo moving around from the back, trying to get some shots in onto Creed. Works them pretty low. They almost pop the mech, but they just can't quite get it. Now dashing forward onto Rhea. The flashbang comes through, has to enter the Wraith form, trying to get popped back up. Will be safe at least for the moment. The barrier comes in, but gets melted through by Tidal as he takes him out. He goes down as well. Self-destruct pop. Won't find any kills, but still Wings being zoned back. And Afreeca Red, a very strong defense thus far as Attune picks up a double kill. 2 minutes about to be on the clock here for Wings, and Afreeca, they're just going to be looking for that full hold here on point A.
And Axel just abandons the Reaper and goes over to Soldier. Only had about 60% ult charge, so wasn't really going to have the Death Blossom anytime soon. Could have just been ulted by the Honor and go for just a point-blank tank shredding machine, but they abandoned that plan. Soldier now the DPS. Still some big ultimates available for Rhino Gaming Wings, it must be said.
Yeah, but Tidal going to be looking to line up this Graviton Surge. We saw how crucial these were for Envy. Tidal going to need to replicate that one. One coming through here already as Envy tosses his out, the pin coming out. Swifty goes forward, looking for now that Earth Shatter, finds it, locks out to the backside, and 3 kills immediately come in. 4 as Quartermain falls, and it's Tidal and Creed all on their lonesome. And Creed gets popped out of the mech. The team wipe completed by Wings. And they're going to go ahead and pick up this first point. Afreeca Red maybe coming back in for some desperation holds, but it just doesn't seem like they'll be there in time. And they just want to go ahead, all respawn as close as they can before the point gets taken. But now they have to hold on Streets.
And the reason why you don't go for any sort of emergency shenanigans is you need a great setup on Streets when you have no Streets to really push through. They only got halfway through the Streets phase, so them having a robust defense is way more important than buying 20 seconds and losing a member.
They just have to round that second to last corner now. Here's the Wings. See that self-destruct being tossed out. Will it find anybody? The answer is going to be no. I believe we get a pop here on Reed's mech. But still buys them a bit of space to continue pushing forward and trying to get on top of this payload. Ty going low, has that barrier, keeps him alive for a little bit longer. And we'll get Spam healed back up. Soon operating up on the high ground, trying to get as much damage in, trying to get towards that tack visor as quickly as he can. About halfway there. Don't have it yet. Minimal ultimates on both sides.
That visor on Oxo, but not really the terrain to pull it off, and no nano visor available just yet. Watching the inch forward here, Ryan Shield down.
Could be an Earth Shatter, maybe open up here for Umte. Gonna be looking for it. Shields down, both of them about to break. Very high energy here from Ty. Throws out the Graviton Surge as they get siphoned in. Earth Shatter does come down, locks up the nano boosted Reinhardt for the charge. Will not connect, so Rio still swinging away. Get a whole lot of damage in, and now that's going to be the attack visor plus the nano boost coming through for Oxo. Self-destruct has to get behind cover. The hay bales are enough. The cape goes down. Things still looking like they might win out on this, but Oxo gets chased down by Quartermain. And now Tydala, high energy on that Zarya, trying to trade one back on the Umte. Gets killed by the Flame Strike, point blank.
They're still inching forward the cart and not much further to go. Will that even be a last second contest? They got to rush for this.
Yeah, Rio maybe even just having to sprint in with the charge. Can't quite do that, but will arrive in time. But popping the tag visor, looking for a target.
No targets yet.
Yeah, can't really get much done. Sound barrier comes down for Afreeca. They're going to posture a bit further forward.
Watch for the Graviton Surge. Envy and the Bigger Bang is available.
It comes down. They're all getting siphoned up. Bigger Bang thrown down. The shield. Will it be there? No. Quartermain and Tydala both falling out. Navi dead as well. The healers eradicated. Afreeca Red will get team wiped. And Rhinos go to match point 2-0 up in this best of 5 as they take down Hollywood.
Great management of the ultimates at the end, and also the team more confident in making the switches. 2 pushes with the Reaper, gimmick didn't work, went into the Soldier. Not like Soldier was the key point, but was certainly a big factor in their secondary push on Streets. As Afreeca Red in general have been pretty dogged in their hero choices. That was not something we'd say about them earlier, but it's the reality now. Now Afreeca Red suddenly feel like they have 1 foot in the Challenger League.
Rhinos, 1 more win. We'll push them forward. We'll push the org back into Apex for Season 3. They've been absent since Season 1.
Still the spot away from a team that was in that league already. Rhino Gaming, 2nd in Challenger, expected to get much earlier than the 6th and final slot, but they'll take it. Late or not, they will be in Apex if they pick up 1 more map win against their opponents of Freecs Red.
Well, the pressure is collapsing down around Afreeca Freecs now. You can see just not sure what to do. The looks on their faces. They have a couple minutes to try to collect themselves, to fire back as we move on to a 2-point capture. We're going to go to a break. When we return, we'll see if Rhinos can just close this out with a 3-0, an unexpected one at that. So don't go anywhere, guys. You don't want to miss the conclusion of this best of 5. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back in now for potentially our final match of, or map rather, of this match of the Super Week.
Our last match, our last map. It might be a lot of lasts here, Achilleos. Probably the last day of Overwatch in a couple of weeks as well. We've already announced that we'll be resuming Apex on the 28th of April. Probably going to be a nice news nugget at some point finding out our foreign teams, but for actual Apex followers, we will not have Overwatch for a couple of weeks before restarting.
Yeah, get a little break to build up the hype, focus in on the teams, figure out who the foreign teams are going to be. But here we go, moving over to double capture point. Hanamura and Temple of Anubis available, and we're going to be going back to Hanamura.
Once again, going back to the best analog for Seoul right now, with the cherry blossoms falling down. Gonna be stuff. Anime fans and Soulites will know all about the cherry blossoms. Hanamura can be a fun one. We know all about it. Snowball captures or frustration is the Hanamura way.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to sum it up, and pretty much one leads to the other. You get the snowball, the enemy's frustrated. You don't get the cap, you're frustrated. So Hanamura is just one big ball of cherry blossoms and frustration.
That should be the name of my new album.
There you go. Cherry blossoms and frustration.
Yep. My next mixtape.
All right. There you go.
Quartermain will hope it's part of his mixtape, because otherwise, maybe all he'll be doing. They're on the brink here, Afreeca Freecs Red. No matter if rapping can stop that, they need to have a heroic, Herculean performance if they're not to be eliminated by Rhino's Gaming Wings.
Well, maybe Quartermain can inspire his teammates, get them to perform here where it really matters by singing them a song, but otherwise might just be singing a tune of their team's death in this set. Let's go ahead, load up onto Hanamura, see if Rhinos close this out, or if Afreeca Freecs can extend the series to a fourth map.
I get it.
So, in following Japan, Achilleos, I found that their music comes in two categories. They either talk about cherry blossoms or they talk about love, which is a pretty universal topic for music. I feel like it's one or the other or both. I don't know if there's ever been a Japanese song that didn't involve either of those ideas.
That sounds like a really bold statement, Papa Smith. And as a fan of
Are you ready for some cherry blossoms and love? We are on Hanamura.
As a fan of quite a lot of Japanese rock music, I don't know if your statement is correct.
Just go with it. Go with it. We're a duo now.
I don't know enough Japanese to fault you, so I guess.
Thank you.
I guess you're
Defer
correct.
to your analyst. Always the right way to go. Doe and chat.
All right, you're also my hyung, so I have to acknowledge that you are correct.
Enough Hyungs count in Japan, but
Well, we're in Korea, so it counts here.
excuse me, we're in the game. We're in Hanamura.
Okay, my bad.
EA Sports got a shout out there. It was an accident. It's in the game.
I dropped that one a while ago.
Pretty standard dive comp coming through from Freecs Freecs Red. Still no Zenyatta. Sad boys.
They're not going to see that one. See how much they want to go ahead and just pile in onto the point. Single DPS here from Oxo on that soldier.
Going for the deep dive onto the backline, trying to get as much damage on the supports as possible.
Just jumping in. Mango already goes down though. Tidal picking that one up. So nicely done so far for Afreeca Creed going low, but they managed to pop him back up, and Envy gets booped to death. It's going to be a nice little start. We'll trade back a couple kills, but already...
Pop off from Quartermain. We were looking for him. Triple boop. Man.
Absolutely massive. Fury going to get that mech popped as well, so that's going to delay him. Likely force him to go ahead. Have to jump off the side of the map, and a very swift cap does come through for Afreeca, but the question is now, can they snowball this? There's no ultimates, or will they just end up getting held that frustrating 7 minutes?
Rushing up with the Ana. Get them in the right position, but when no one has ultimates, snowball capture is certainly possible.
But they're going for this one, and Tune already going in. Has that recall, takes him out to safety.
Idol is so close to the Dragon Blade. That'd be the first ultimate of the game.
Dropping himself down low. Creed using that mech, however, and Navi going low, so they can't play as far forward as they would like. They end up getting the Ana in the end. So Afreeca suffering a couple losses, buys Wings a little bit more time, and Rio will die right off the back side of the engagement. So Wings going to stay alive for now. No ticks coming through here for Afreeca, but still building up these ultimates.
You look at the comp, though, from Rhino Gaming Wings. Remember, they don't really have a comp built for high ground. So it'll be interesting to see if Afreeca Freecs Red take the invitation and look to battle on the high ground, and then just look for a big Nano Blade. Nano Blade is available. They have a huge, huge ult lead, almost 6 ultimates There's 6 minutes left, but I hazard to suggest that I don't think there will be a better time for the captain. There's Nanoblade.
Oh yeah, Nanoblade coming in here for Tidala, dashing into the back.
Whoa!
Sleep Dart comes through the flick from Mango, locking him down. That might buy them just enough time. Wings haven't lost anybody yet. Self-destruct tossed out here by Creed, will not find a kill. But the pulse bomb from Oxo finds both the healers on the side of Afreeca, and that might be enough to halt this push. Barrier down for Rio, pops out of that one, gets taken down by Oxo. That will be the treat. They're going to trace in here, try to get Creed. Get the mech in the end, just buying more time for Wings. Yet again, no tick. Beautiful turnaround for Wings, and now they're going to have the upper hand with the ultimates.
Mango is so clutch at sleeping these Dragon Blades. I jokingly called him the son of Jae-Hong in chat yesterday, and honestly, you cannot argue with results. This is not a once-off. I have seen 6 Dragon Blades slept by Mango, and not a lot of time this week, so he has been beasting it on the on.
Really solid performance from him so far. And that might just, go ahead and get a close-up on that man right there. I say that man, but I like that boy. Still very young, but very talented.
So many ults now down for Afreeca Red. This is more of an eco push, if anything.
Yeah, you can see them just getting shoved out here. Going in with that primal rage, just beating the hell out of them, smacking them off the map. Look at those kills. A near team wipe here. Quartermain all on his lonesome, trying to make it out. Oxo doesn't want to pursue any deeper than that as the respawns are coming through, but already about 3 minutes bought on the clock here for Wings.
So we were looking for changes. The thing you note about Rona's game, I mentioned it before, not the best at contesting long-range damage. Something like a Widowmaker or the Soldier to take the high ground is what I would have liked from Freecs Red. They finally do switch over to the Soldier, so they have at least one hero that could profit. I like that switch, but it is more of an eco push here. No DPS ultimates or AoE ultimates.
Going low, sprinting his way back up towards the top.
Oh, nice there.
Strike, but yeah, turns around, finds Mango. Gonna be a nice little entry frag for them. Rio goes in, has the charge in onto Umte. They take him out with the help of Tidala. Self-destruct's coming through, not gonna clip anybody. Used up on top. The Wings now starting to struggle. No ticks accrued yet.
All these kill credits are going the way of Freecs Red. No answering picks. They need something. There's the Nano. Yeah, so that's just the attack visor. Like you say, triple kill. Attack visor.
And they're going to go ahead and start picking this one up. Wings will desperately be pouring back in here, trying to buy some time. Nano boost onto Umte, not going to buy them anything as that first tick finally comes through. Getting ever closer towards the second. Envy using the Graviton Surge solely on a tune, but he gets the bubble. He gets that sound barrier coming through, and he stays alive. Yet again, more kills for Wings as they continue to just regularly wipe out. And
it seems like a waiting game here, Kilios. They've got no momentum at all. Here comes the meter. Nice Earth Shatter.
Yeah, really good. Envy trying to buy some time. Goes invisible, trying to get the hack off. Gets popped. A couple more seconds on this cap, and they will have it for themselves. Jumping in is the monkey, but he gets taken out immediately. Mango just cannot buy enough time. They throws down the wall. Doesn't have the ice block. Gets killed. The gate with the sound barrier. Not going to do enough. A fraction left. And they will finally get it. 2 minutes 49 remaining. Afreeca, a very convincing attack on Hanamura.
And the switch over to the Soldier was exactly what they needed. Free firing, farmed up the tack visor, which you got the triple on, and guess what, Achilles? A single contest, the use of the Graviton Surge just to stop. The Soldier got peeled by the defensive protective barrier from the Zarya and still wasn't successful. They had no answer compositionally to the Soldier, and the Soldier did all the heavy lifting. So great swap from Freecs Red. We criticized them earlier for being too stubborn. They pulled it back there.
Really good stuff. It's one of those moments, though, potentially, where you get really confident, like, oh, you know what? We got 3 minutes left on the clock. Really good chance of winning this Hanamura map, and then just get rolled, and they have 7 minutes left on the time bank.
Been a while since we've seen the 7-minute time bank on Hanamura. That's sort of the map. I feel like the only time I've ever seen that
is really rare.
When I play a competitive game and the Hanzo gets like a triple kill on the first point, then Dragon Strikes the second point. I've seen that happen once in a while, just for how fast you farm your Dragon Strike. But other than that, the stall outs, the draws, we know all about them. Not so much draws though on this particular system that Blizzard has created. Goodbye, Na'Vi.
Those are pretty non-existent. Na'Vi, just he can't take it anymore.
Just a pretty advanced scouting mission here from Quartermain. Dropping some sick tunes like he did back at the Apex Overwatch Finals.
Yeah, and one of the things that we haven't really seen is the mobility that Lucio has gained. Constantly getting that speed buff, jumping off the walls. We haven't really seen that on display yet.
I mean, honestly, it's probably mostly used getting back to points off screen than it is necessarily on the attack, given that you've got the smaller AoEs. If you had the speed boost plus the big AoEs, this would be party time, but...
Because, yeah, Lucio needs a higher pick rate. And here we go. Wings on the attack, going for that pseudo dive. Tracer, Winston coming in. No pharmacy, but Envy is piloting the Pharah yet again. Dala going low, and he's going to get taken out. Mango snipes him from a distance.
Wasn't expecting the Pharah, like we said, and that's a double kill now. One healer down. You were talking about your prophetic words about a quick cap. What's a damn good start? That's 4, that's it.
Well then, here we go. Wings, yet again, going to follow up with a very convincing attack of their own. See how they can translate this into that second point. Still coming up slowly yet surely. They get it. All right, you got 15 seconds. Go.
Well, that was about as fast as possible. The moment the Genji went down, surprised by the Pharah and the multiple ways take him out too far up.
Dala and Na'Vi both falling is just absolutely huge.
I mean, Dala definitely was considering the possibility of a Widowmaker opening. He wasn't expecting what he took.
Yep, Envy though, maybe losing out on this trade. Gonna try to fly out, dodge out on those shurikens. Comes back down, bit of a bold move here, you'd have to say. And there we go, gets picked off. Loses that 1v1. But ill-advised. And meanwhile, a gate does get taken out, so no push coming through yet.
Well, we see a retooling this early. So far, Envy's actually doggedly sticking on to the Pharah, maybe for the first barrage. No sight of the Zarya, which is often the cornerstone of a successful take. Swapping now would mean at least 2 Graviton Surges, you'd imagine, will potentially come out, but no switches.
Oh, Oxo. He sees Tidal, but Tidal, like Afreeca has been failing to do, doesn't check the corner. Doesn't see him. Close to that Dragon Blade. See if Oxo is going to go ahead and sneak in. Tries to sneak in, rather, but gets spotted by that Diva on the high ground. They communicate this over to Dala. He's going to go ahead and zip over, just trying to get some damage now.
Soon to be the Primal Rage as
Na'Vi
well.
gets picked. Envy finds that. Quartermain very low as well. Loops back Oxo, trying to
Both healers down.
get some space. Yeah, Envy finds it. He gets taken out by Tidala. Wings haven't really been able to push in onto the point. Umte jumping forward, trying to finish off this Genji. Afreeca maybe coming in back into this one, have multiple ultimates available to them. Now jumping in onto Umte, doesn't want to pop that Primal Rage, just trying to exit safely. Hold off, wait for Mango, wait for Oxo to come back in.
There was certainly a big wide window there, Kilios, with both supports down, but the enemy team was diving there as supports, so it wasn't able to be snowballed into even a first point capture. We'll have to back away and start it all again, but with a very impressive ult bank to complement it.
Really good stuff here for Afreeca. Envy does swap over to that Zarya finally, but 3 members starting from scratch as far as their ultimate percentages are concerned.
Aggressive ult bank, sadly, for Rhinos Gaming is on the side. Afreeca red, and there's a Nano Blade.
Yeah, Nano Blade coming in here for Tidal. See how much he can get done. Pushing forward, finds the gate, helps take down Oxo. Looking for a little bit more. Envy gonna be safe though, picks up that health pack. Tidal will just go ahead and heal back safely. Comes up with the 2 picks, but they invest 2 ultimates. They stop the potential push. The sound barrier. So, not a fruitless exchange. But Wings right now just gonna be in that economy phase.
Yep, the eco pushes will be real. They really need to farm Envy up to Graviton Surge. That big game-changing ultimate. Still very far away. Could take upwards of 1.5 minutes to farm, maybe even longer.
See Fury now. Finding a tune around the side. He's got backup. Stiva definitely doesn't want to stick around for too long. I love how they just keep spraying in the middle of everything.
Worry that so far Envy has built up no charge on the Zarya.
Flight coming in here from Rio. Wrapping around onto the rest of the Wings who come down the staircase. Pops that Primal Rage, starting to knock him away. Oxo tries to get back. It's taken down by Tidala. It's going to be a very nice start for Afreeca yet again on the defense. Multiple kills coming through. Attune picking up 2 for himself. Wings get halted, and it's already down to 3.5 minutes.
Nothing used, though, as you can see from Rhino Gaming Wings. Double jump off from the Lucio and the Reinhardt. Creed would like to play Diva again in the suit. So she follows suit. All right.
He doesn't want to lose that ult charge.
Speaking of ult charge, this is what they've been building towards. This is what the eco pushes were for. As Envy now is up to the 95% charge. Now, not all are given. There will be a Diva to potentially eat this Graviton Surge. It's execution heavy, but this is the window for Rhino Gaming Wings.
See if they can get it. Envy pushing forward, has that barrier down, trying to get as much energy as he can, but right now, not going to be getting a whole lot of anything.
Need to pressure the Reinhardt and the Diva before thinking about this ult.
Drop down onto the ground, the pin comes through. That's going to draw out that self-destruct here from Creed. Meanwhile, the Nanovisor popped out by Oxo, trying to go ahead, pop down onto Tidal, gets him low, finishes off the kill right here off the backside. Again, finally helps take him down. Wings having that upper hand, at least for the moment. Graviton Surge has not been used yet. He'll be looking for the window.
Oxo was pinned.
And taking Rio down low. Oxo gets killed. They're going to go ahead, push back in. Haven't accrued anything on this point yet. Envy, I feel like they might just peel back. And they will do just that as Mango goes down. So Afreeca holds on yet again. And now they're going to have the upper hand with the time bank.
Yeah, the Nanovisor not finding any kills barring the last shots that Agape did to take down the Reinhardt. Because they didn't really have anything to profit off a Graviton Surge. Only the bigger bang, and that can of course be very situational. They know a lot of key ults are down, but we know that soon Graviton Surge will be up for Afreeca Red. Was that the window? The only window Rhino Gamers will have? I think it was either that time or potentially overtime where they can cap this point.
It's looking more and more like overtime as this continues.
On this patch, overtime and 2 minutes 50 for Afreeca Red is also pretty close to a sure loss.
In there from him, they're not going to connect. Right back down. Nanovisor coming through. Mango already falls. Now looking for Fury. Will be able to pop the mech and should just take down the Baby Diva. There we go. Finds it right off the bat. 2 members of Wings fall with just 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. And Afreeca, they don't want this to be capped in overtime. They just want to go ahead and close this out right here. Pick up their first map of the series, force us to a fourth.
I mean, it's given the nature of respawn timers, overtime is almost certainly going to be the best Rhino Gaming can hope for, and we've already outlined how that is going to be a hollow victory, so getting closer and closer now and ever. They might as well wait for Oxo to get that tactical visor.
Yeah, 73%. They're going to have to start contesting soon. You can see the wraparound onto the left flank. Afreeca maintaining control over the point. Creed poking in from above them. Their shatter coming through, not really getting a whole lot, but they do find a gate. They take him out. Quartermain finishing him off. And B trying to fire back, trying to pop that suit there for Creed, but just can't get it. He'll get bumped back up to about full HP. And Wings is going to kite back off of that left flank. You can see nothing to be done here for Oxo. Just has to die, and there's only 20 seconds left.
Yeah, gonna have to be an overtime hold by a Diva, and then still only the outside chance of anything happening for Rhino Gaming Wings. No Tracer to contest the point. It probably has to be the Diva there buying the time.
Got 6 seconds coming through. Let's see what they can do to prevent this. Tidala does have that Graviton Surge. Hasn't tossed it out yet. Drops back in onto the point, trying to chunk out Umte. Diva coming through with the Reinhardt. Graviton Surge comes out. Big Earth Shatter. It's going to be the bigger bang coming through. Can they find it? Only get Quartermain, but they follow up with that Flame Strike in onto Rio. Finding a couple picks. Oxo and Envy fall, and Afreeca Red start turning around the fight off the backside of Tidala.
No one's anywhere near it, too.
The Attack Visor takes out a gate to prevent it, and Afreeca Freecs finally pick up a map in this set.
Well, first point, 7 minutes 12 time bank for the second point, but frustrated the entire time. Took a little while to swap off the Pharah, still had over 6 minutes, but never picked up the Graviton Surge they were looking for. Dogged defense from Afreeca Freecs Red, credit to them. They will not go down to Challenger without a fight. This is our last Apex qualifying match. And Afreeca Red, they finally showed up to play. Unfortunately for them, they still continue to roll on match point.
Yep. The Rhinos still just that 1 win away, but Afreeca going to be looking to tie things up. They win the 2-point capture. See how they can fare when they move on to the assault payload. Coming up next will be Rhino's selection.
Something where they can run the pharmacy is probably where they'll go. Remember, we're running just the Pharah on attack in their 40-second claim of Hanamura Point A.
Saw Gibraltar from these guys last time. See what happens.
Map pool for us on the pure escort. Gonna be Dorado and Route 66.
going to be Dorado. All right, so this has definitely been the most popular, you'd have to say, out of all the escort maps.
Adjustments from yesterday, as you mentioned, Gibraltar on the map list yesterday. Not today, it's going to be the Dorado. Haven't gone to set 4 in a while.
I mean, this is another place where that pharmacy comp can excel from the defense or the offense.
Exactly, there can be some really creative defenses here, the sort of map where on attack you fire out that sonic arrow and check. Will it just be a standard hold, or will it be something crazy? It's been standard mostly from Afreeca Freecs Red, but they're right up against the wall.
All right, let's see how they go ahead and manage this one. We haven't seen too many completions on Dorado. It's been the 1-1, the 2-2, but never really that 3-3 coming through. We'll see how Rhinos fares as they start us off on Assault. If Afreeca can put up as strong of a defense as they did just then on Hanamura, they're gonna need it if they want to keep pushing us further into this set. Take us to 5 maps. Let's go ahead and jump onto Dorado.
I get it.
Loyal fans here, giving their voices for what, once again, it's always going to be the potential decider once we hit map 3 with a 2-0 lead for Rhino Gaming Wings.
Yep, them yelling like that, they're going to lose their voice before I do.
A lot of best of 5s, like you say. Our 15th of this week for the first 3 days, and just 3 today. I see a replay of Quartermain's play of the game. I have to think it's that triple boop.
Almost certainly. Yeah, here we go.
I see some vertical boop, and it's what I asked for. Oh, baby.
Yeah, push it forward. Just, there you go. Gets the one. Follows up. There's the other. Just sends him flying.
Sometimes Overwatch is a simple game, Kilios.
What an easy character. All you have to do is right-click.
Speaking of Quartermain, was on that advanced scouting mission and backing away.
Gonna be that solo DPS yet again here for Toon.
Very much a standard high ground hold comp here from Afreeca Freecs Red. Don't think we're going to see an Orisa. Back to Diva Duty Fury.
One day.
Oxo is on the Widowmaker though.
See if we can get an opening pick. Knows exactly where they're going to be playing. Reinhardt Shield coming through. Almost lines one up there onto Quartermain. Doesn't find it, so says, all right, well, enough of this. Go ahead and swap right out. It's going to be a McCree, so we're going to have a mirror match coming through.
We haven't seen Afreeca Red force a mirror match in a while. Remember, it's been a Toon normally swapping and playing rock, paper, scissors to win or match. But this time it's actually Rhinos Gaming that are forced to take that particular gambit. It's not Envy on the primary DPS this time. It is Oxo, like you mentioned.
Yep. Wanting that Zarya, so not going to be seeing the pharmacy comp coming through.
You don't often see these pretty standard comps. Usually there's a Genji or Pharah diving from around the side. No picks yet.
They're just trying to force their way down to that left flank. Down the stairs, Empty goes in with a charge. Doesn't find anything, but they do get Rio as Envy takes them out. So a nice little opener as they bring that payload up through the underpass. You can see the kite backs coming through. Really nice hit onto a Toon.
So much ult charge here for Envy.
Yeah, this is just how it goes. When he gets rolling, he plays this Zarya very much like Toon does.
In the front line, like you say, which is unique and can be exploited. That's already the downtown surge.
Yeah, coming down. Empty goes for a very short little charge. Won't find much, but he's just swinging away. Tidal, massive energy on this Zarya, but doesn't have what it takes to go ahead and force them back. That is the first point coming through. A couple exit kills off the backside of that one as Quartermain goes down. We'll see just how much Wings can get off this continued push. And Envy already back up to about 40% charge for this ultimate.
Yeah. Cheap push, you'd have to say. When it comes to investments, it was only really the Graviton Surge to talk about there. I'm telling you, I believe also.
Yeah, threw down that Earth Shatter.
Threw down an Earth Shatter, but otherwise.
And they're both at 40%, so it's decent recovery rate.
I mean, every grenade was getting about 10% ult charge for Envy because Afreeca Red was streaming backwards in a line in a very narrow choke. Oxo's in a flanking position, looking for some creative use of the Deadeye.
Oh, we're halfway there. Now it's going to be the contest coming through. He pops the Deadeye. They don't exactly see him, but they make it around the corner right before he can pop it. Now it's going to be the sound barrier.
6v5 for a little bit here, remember.
Teams. Yeah, going to be fighting around the steps here on this building. And Toon finds the opening kills. He takes out a game. Gets Fury's mech as well, but they're going to trade back because Rio and the Soldier go down.
First picks there because Oxo was out of position, now on the points 4v4.
Freecs gonna have to try to go ahead and kite this one back. Doesn't want to stick around with Azaria. Tidala getting that nano boost. Trying to build up here as best as he can. Get towards that next Graviton Surge. Only at 47%, and Envy's got his ready to go.
Can't play out for that long there. It's Graviton Surge.
Finds it from the back, comes around from behind them. Umte has that Earth Shatter ready to go as well.
Continue to back
Explosion,
away.
not going to find much. Creed finds one onto Envy, and Rio does take out Umte. Trade one onto Tidala. But at the moment, Afreeca going to be winning this defensive push. Oxo trying to get that Deadeye up, finally finds it, but Creed makes it behind Rio's shield, so they're going to have to go ahead and kite back away from the payload. They get it dangerously close to point 2, still have 3 minutes to work with, but they do use quite a bit.
Yeah, Toon noticed there was no way for Rhinos Gaming to contest high ground, no divers whatsoever, no Winston, no Genji, no Tracer even, and was able to just freely move on to Soldier, pick up the ult, use it to repel the first push, already working his way back to the second. Hart gets very close to point 2. We've seen it stalled out here already during the course of Superweek, so no guarantees they even get the 2 points.
Yep.
Rhinos Gaming.
Their ult could just hold. Not a whole lot of avenues of approach here for Wings, except for straight in underneath. Big Helix Rocket comes through. They find Oxo.
They're
Very
just
nice
giving
opener.
a Toon free time. It's a shooting gallery for him.
Yep, and now Rio pushing forward, looking for that Earth Shatter. It's threatening them back. Doesn't have to use it yet.
They cannot approach this from the low ground a third time. They're just giving the free ult charge and picks over to Afreeca Red. They still are not messing with the comp, so they need to go for a different angle because this one really isn't going to work.
Yeah, it's not working out. Oxo, I feel like he still wants to stick with this. Go for that next Deadeye. Hasn't really gotten one yet. Every time he's tried, it's been blocked or people have gotten around corners. Earth Shatter coming through, completely blocked out here by MT's shield. Onto Tidala as that nano boost comes through, but he tosses out the Graviton Surge all the same, and they're just absolutely melting through the health bars of Wings. The sweep about to be completed as they find Envy. Umte will go down right off the backside of that. The team kill completed now, and Afreeca keep holding on tight right in front of point B. Rollback coming through just a bit, pushing that payload in underneath the overpass.
And now Rhinos Gaming will make some adjustments, but is it too little, too late? Great first push. In general, they have been very flexible on their hero choices, but have been dogged in giving free high ground advantage to the side of Soldier, and only now at the 4th time of asking are they changing things up.
Yep, Oxo now going to be coming in, but has to start from scratch with that tack visor. A cape as well, very low percentage for that sound barrier. So a ways to go here for Wings, and they only have a minute on the clock to try to complete this. Go ahead, they push this payload back up to about where it was. Bigger bang going to be attempted. They do find one onto Tidala. Can they continue? Attack visor coming through here from Attune.
Doesn't get much though. He's finally forced away. They played both bits of high ground and took away the high ground advantage. So this should finally be a cap here for Rhinos Gaming.
Trying to buy some time, gets booped away. It's going to be coming through. Fury gets his mech popped.
There's not enough members here for
Freecs
Red.
Trying. They do get the Earth Shatter out of Umte though. A bit unnecessary. Pops that, but now it's just 2 minutes left on the clock, but the second point is completed here for Wings. We'll see how much they can get done in this short amount of time.
First time we've actually been to point 3 of Dorado in a while. It's been stalled out multiple times just outside the doors.
Yeah.
The end of point 2. Not much pushing they can do here. And boost available. Big Earth Shatter there, actually.
Yeah, gets a couple locked down. They do pick up a kill onto Umte. The rest of the team trying to go ahead and retreat. Envy dropping down to that lower ground. Still gets burned out. They kill him off. Quartermain in with the chase. Rio going forward with the charge. Not going to find much. But still a very nice shove back here by Afreeca Red as they just keep Rhinos outside.
They also will very soon have sound barrier up. Now, Rhinos Gaming certainly do have one big combo available to Nano Visor and also the Graviton Surge. They look to be contesting the high ground. They've learned, Achilles, they've learned.
They know that this is where the matches get made. Envy though, as he looked for that Graviton Surge of his own. Doesn't have much energy yet. Needs to try to stack that up. Tosses it down, locks up a couple members. The Sleep Dart comes through onto Umte. Stuck in one spot. No kills coming off the backside of the Zarya ultimate. Rio and Umte exchanging blows. Oxo trades one back here, getting rid of the enemy Reinhardt, but Envy has gone down. Need many more openings to try to get this payload moving. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock, and so far it's a pretty even exchange. And Afreeca Red will be happy with that.
Oxo still hasn't popped the tac visor on the off chance. There is another push, super low actually, gonna need the healing station to get any healthier, finally does. We see the heal up. Let's wait for the last push. Tactical visor, like we mentioned, available. 30% away from the nano visor. And 3 ults available for Rhinos Gaming. It's all now or nothing.
See what they do. Graviton Surge here for Tidal, just looking for the opportunity. Waiting to chuck this one out, likely going to use it straight in on top of this payload. The Shatter coming through, not going to find anything from Muntate. Clips it onto the wall, dragging them in. Okay, completely locked up and goes down as Rio finishes them off. Self-destruct comes out, finds a kill on the Tidal, but Rio otherwise is going to be okay. Oxo taking out Na'Vi. Both of the healers have died for the side of Afreeca Red. Green gets popped out of the mech, he falls, and this could be an opportunity for Wings to get the push going. Pulse Bomb takes out Rio, but they need to get this payload moving up and around the corner. There's still a ways to go. The respawns will be coming through for Afreeca Red. They can contest this, but it's dangerously close for Rhinos.
A couple more picks there. Remember, we're in overtime. The respawn time is so much longer. A couple of picks, and this could be realistic for Rhinos Gaming.
See if they can get this. Creed going in, trying to just lock down Oxo. Finishes him off with the help of a tune at a distance. Payload moving forward yet again. 3.2 meters. Self-destruct coming through from Creed, trying to find some kills. Won't get anything, but now the sound barrier from Quartermain comes out and buys them some more time. Envy coming in, almost has a pulse bomb ready to go. Pops the mech there for Creed, trying to get Quartermain. Can't quite get him, but Umte picks up the kill. Pulse bomb finds Na'Vi. Earth Shatter locking down Tidala, and they might just have it. There they go. The completion on Dorado, a rare sight throughout this Super Week, but Rhinos find it in overtime.
Rhinos Gaming had such a great .1 and then almost had it halted like we have seen many times this week before the completion of .2. Got through the last phase pretty comfortably though. Good stuff from them, good target selection. In overtime, you see the effect of adding the extra time on those respawns. Much more filtering in of 1 by 1 rather than the full team recollection. No structure to the defense means that the map is finished, and that's actually a really big ask for Freecs Red to stay in the series, full capping Dorado.
It really is. Last time Afreeca played this, they played against Flash Lux. There's a 1-1. No one could push it past that first point. And now they have to go the distance. Their Apex Season 3 hopes riding on this payload, making it to the end.
Gonna need some big step-ups from some of their members. Toons McCree is what we've largely seen today right now, setting up on the Tracer, but obviously a lot of time to change. And to focus more on the defense from Rhinos Gaming Wings. Pretty standard, actually. Pretty reminiscent of what we saw from Afreeca Red on defense.
Yeah, I think it's actually the exact same composition.
Yeah, it ended up being McCree versus McCree, if we remember correctly, as Oxo took the McCree on attack.
Give it to me, Na'Vi. Let me see that attack bash. Perfect.
Probably not.
Well, it looks like Afreeca will be operating with a dive comp, though. So they want to be able to get into the back line, get on top of a gaping Mango, and just try to eliminate him. Fury trying to scout out. Checking out the courtyard, seeing if he can spot anybody.
Those hoping for an aggressive defense so far. Be frustrated. So one of those on Route 66.
Cute little ploy. Cute little ploy. I'm trying to
Absolutely.
go ahead and spot that one out.
So the aggressive defense on Route 66, but not to be. Just spot some information here. Just the standard honest. No Zenyatta to fully complete the dive comp.
Well, seeing that, Genji is going to give Wings a pretty good idea of what the rest of the comp is going to look like as this payload starts moving up towards that underpass. Tune going to be wrapping around up onto the high ground, but everybody else from Wings is already kited back into the fountain area, into the bazaar.
Standard stuff. McCree versus Genji. So often the story. Flashbang does register, but no headshot.
Yeah, can't find it. Too much pressure coming in for the remaining members of Afreeca, pressuring back Oxo. So can't go in for that hit. Tidala safe for the moment. Dashes forward, helps
Free's
take down
down.
that McCree. It's going to be a really nice start, but Na'Vi and Attune both fall. Envy, yet again, starting to stack up the meter for that Graviton Surge. Burns out Dala. Nothing that he can do to mitigate it. Taken down, they find Creed. They can go ahead and stagger the Baby Diva. And Envy going to find himself at about 60% to start things off.
Some beautiful tracking, which was very necessary for Envy. When McCree is dead, that should be the spot for the Genji to profit, not to be. A lot of ult charge as well.
A very surprising amount, you'd have to say.
Probably a big fire strike, you'd have to think, hitting 2 or 3. Pump up that meter.
That and a couple swings. connecting through.
Defensive position once again taken. Oxo doesn't want to be caught in no man's land like he was before.
Yeah, dashes backward. Himself safe, at least for the moment, and actually picks up the kill here on Tidal. Toon goes down as well, so both the DPS members have fallen, and the dive is shattered with Rio going down. So Afreeca Red being held here for a considerable amount of time right in front of point A.
And time is always the factor in Overwatch. Remember, they have to full push Dorado. A tough ask for the teams we've seen so far in Superweek. They really don't have the latitude for too many more sidesteps or missteps on this push. Toon does have the pulse bomb very soon.
But is it going to be enough? Dala also nearly having that nano blade available for him. Toon pushing in. Does he drop the bomb? Yes, he does. Finds Envy. A nice little crucial pick as the Graviton Surge was getting ready to come up. And Dala dashing forward, finds two, gets rid of Mango and Mte. Goes back in. And that push finally completed here onto point A. 4 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock here for Afreeca Red. But still have to make it all the way to the finish. See what happens when they reach that next choke point past the bank.
Much stuff there from Afreeca Freecs Red. They did all that damage through the sound barrier, slashed away with the nano blade after the pulse bomb. Stopped there from being an answering ult from specifically Envy.
Discharge there by Mte. Not taking a whole lot of damage there.
They are stopping the defense from really taking structure, though. It's a very, very shallow defense from Rhinos Gaming.
Yeah, Rio goes back in. He pops that primal rage here. They get locked in. The bigger bang coming up big. Double kill for Fury. Gets rid of that Genji and that Winston.
Still was a really good push, so it was a distraction while the cart was pushed further and further. Remember, it took till very deep in the map for Rhinos Gaming to actually push point two, and so far, and a very nice push from Afreeca Freecs Red.
Yeah, but still, I mean, a good win for Wink because they're not even fighting around the choke point like we see consistently on Dorado. It's not this little, overpass that we've seen. So they get their victories elsewhere.
That's why they give some free push while they hang back.
Toon dashing into the back line, looking for a bit more percentage to get that pulse bomb ready to go. Pretty damn close, and Tidala nearly having that Dragon Blade. Gonna go ahead and pop this alongside that sound barrier, going in, trying to find the kill onto Mango, finds it in the end, but gets taken down by Oxo. Those Helix rockets, but overall, Afreeca Red really coming out on top of that fight. Oxo sprinting himself out to safety. Pick up that health back, but lo and behold, the healers, the real MVPs, bringing up the payload. They go ahead and complete it now. It's 4 minutes for Afreeca.
It's been an insane push here, and you have to first credit the extreme dive they went for, and sure, the Big Bang got 2 kills, but they were only 2 kills while the cart was free pushing.
Why is it that whenever we're casting and they get multiple kills on these Big Bangs, it goes the opposite way? Whoever gets the kills ends up losing for their team. Oh my god, well, when we talk about Big Bangs, that
both
one
supports
not going to get turned around. Toon, yeah, finds the stick on the one, gets 2. Buy one, get one free on that pulse bomb. They will come back up. Push, getting ready to round that second to last corner.
No mini-map, the meanwhile at is what you have to focus on again, because to answer your question, it's how much free push the cart got while kind of an unnecessary / irrelevant fight was happening on another flank. Speaking of fights, though.
Oh yeah, Oxo getting jumped on, goes low, gets pumped back up to full HP, however. That's the Graviton Surge coming out from NB. Haven't really gotten sign of it yet. There it is. Multiple members on top of the payload. They come up with the kills as Mte just goes forward with that Flame Strike, getting multiples. Popping Creed out to be taken down. So very nicely placed by Envy. They hold on. They stop it from rounding that last corner.
But now the series is so finely balanced. Now we're in a spot where, sure, there's some great ults available for Rhino Gaming's, but it's going to be very soon the Genji hitting the Dragon Blade. One clean wipe, and it should be a pretty comfortable push. It turns backdooring the cart.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and push this one forward.
He's just backdooring it. They don't know about this. They're not respecting it. The cart's already got so much free push.
Yeah, they finally figured this one out. Just wanted to play that high ground, but they've been punished for this. Tidala now going through. Dragon Blade out, but he gets burned down here by Fury on the drop. Wings, having used that sound barrier, will be down that ultimate. Gets taken out. Toon still poking in from the sidelines, trying to work up another pulse bomb. They'll find a sleeping Zarya. Pin comes through. They'll take out Envy. It's a decent window here for Afreeca Red. Everybody up. Some still running back to the point. Fury, getting that nano boost will expire. Can toss out that self-destruct to try to buy a little bit more time for the team. Earthshatter not going to connect. Completely blocked off by Rio with the shield. Finds one on that self-destruct. Tidala going down. But Wings now all going to be about chaining together, just trying to get back in onto this payload to contest, because there's several members of Afreeca here, and they're all pretty damn healthy.
But genius stuff from Atun, backdooring the payload around the bend and almost taking the back door completely. We saw, of course, famously, Afreeca Freecs Blue and Arhan picking up in Apex Season 1 a very crucial push on Gibraltar, doing his best Arhan impression. I'm sure Arhan's watching this somewhere and smiling and nodding. He knows what that was about.
Yes, my son. Very good.
Maybe next time, Genji.
Well, pulse bomb down onto Umte, takes him rather low, but they can't come up with the kill quite yet. They'll get bursted back up, and no, Rio pushing forward with that nano hammer. Gets slept in the end, but still comes up with the kill on the enemy Reinhardt. Oxo getting jumped on his screen, goes forward, trying to mitigate most of the damage coming through. Comes up with the kill, yeah, smacks him down. And still is alive, actually, running around. Trying to make it back into the mech, will be able to do so in the end.
Sony, so far at the moment for Afreeca Freecs Red, they're picking up a couple of picks, but the respawn's coming through. Mango free healing in the back line. Only 38 seconds left for Afreeca Freecs Red to force a game 5.
Yeah, might just have an overtime push coming through here. Wings holding on right now, don't have anything really to amplify.
Toon is like, well, I'm gonna go out on McCree. That's the way he plays, that's his comfort.
See if they can get it done. Tidala needing that big nano blade to come through, but Na'Vi so far away from the boost.
They don't even have a boost to allow him to farm up his Dragon Blade safely.
They have that Sonic
Speaking of
sound barrier. Yeah, boost coming through in onto Envy. Has that pulse bomb, looking for a target, tosses that, but it gets eaten from behind the Diva, consuming it, and that might just be the massive opening that Afreeca need to finish off the game. Self-destruct coming down, not gonna find anybody. Doesn't pop Na'Vi on the high ground, and now Wings holding on for dear life.
Looking for respawns.
Trying to stop this one. Fury pushing back in with Umte, trying to just stick to this payload as best as possible. A Dragon Blade available for Dala. Gonna go ahead, pop this one, looking for a gape. He's got the sound barrier, buy some more time. But gets knocked down. Self-destruct, won't find anything. They trade here onto Creed, taking him out as Fury loses the mech. Umti going dangerously low, gets taken down by Rio. The nano hammer takes him out in the end, and Envy poking in from the backside. Cannot get anything done. That is gonna be the team wipe. That's gonna be the completion. Afreeca Red keeping the hopes alive.
And that means we're going to overtime. Both teams will get a minute to push it as far as possible. Man, that was clutch stuff. I think Atun, the unsung hero for his Tracer, backdoor of so much crucial cart movement, bit of question mark to Rhinos Gaming and their awareness in that spot as they had a great defensive position, just not for a Tracer sneaking around the map. Get it in overtime. And now suddenly, we've got more. The Overwatch doesn't stop. We could still go to a 5th game, and Afreeca Freecs Red will not be sent down to Apex Challengers without a fight.
Oh, they will not. It all comes down to these last 2 remaining minutes for either side. Whoever can get the larger push.
Starting off.
Walk away with a map win in the case of Rhinos. If they can get it, that would be their spot into Apex, while Afreeca desperately want to force us up to that 5th and final map.
So we're starting off with Rhinos Gaming on attack. They, of course, led the attacking phase earlier. Both teams with a minute. This to push the payload, the better, of course. Looking at the comp already, of course, we're just playing around with things. You'll notice the static defenses of the first 2 attempts on this map have changed. We are not seeing triple tank with McCree on either side as far as things are suggesting. It's actually going to be defensive dive from Afreeca Freecs Red. They want to get a couple of picks, allow never for there to be a formation, and no free pushing of the payload.
We'll see if they can do just that here. Avi needing to stay safe.
Hasn't been spotted yet, going all the way around the back. Genji also.
Dala dashing through, already finds the kill in onto Mango. Nice little halt here onto Wings' push. Keep going low. If they can finish him off, that'd be very nice. But looks like he escapes safely. But Afreeca, they don't want to let this go anywhere. Already 30 seconds remaining.
And no free meterage whatsoever coming through. That's why you already see the shots where he jumped off the edge to get the restart on the Diva.
Push is finally starting to come through here. A couple members on it. Envy just trying to spot them out. Peeking out over top of that little archway.
The meterage is perfect at the dive comp on defense in this scenario. Let's see Envy. He has been the superstar on this Pharah.
Needs to show up now more than ever. Couple shots and still very far away from that barrage. See Afreeca Red coming back in here. Trying to defend this as best as possible.
healer
There it
down
comes down.
from
They
Rhino
do
Gaming.
find Mango.
Both
They get a
healers
game as
down.
well. This could just be it. Pulse Bomb comes through. Not going to find the stick. Goes to the wall. And B trades one back here onto a tune. And Oxo gets rid of Rio. They're still on top of this payload. Fury trying to buy as much time, but he gets booped back. And now the overtime is dropping. That's going to be it. The underpass. The only mark that Afreeca have to beat in order to take us to that 5th and final map.
And again, Afreeca still showing us at the end of the series they can be man enough to look for the swap-ups. Didn't do it on the first 2 points. Now with their backs against the wall, understand that no free meterage, no static defenses. Dive comp on defense works a treat and a very achievable total. And the best thing here, Achilles, for the side of Afreeca Freecs Red is you know now that they are forcing Rhinos Gaming to go the same. They have to go a dive comp because they have no meterage to work with, so it feels like extra information is there for Afreeca Freecs Red.
See what Wing's going to go ahead and try to piece together right now. Looking like it's going to be the triple tank. Oxo, what does he want to go with? The Tracer coming out yet again.
To me, this is pretty crazy. This is basically saying, all right, we drop down and we fight right next to where the payload's going, and if we win, we win. If we lose, the map is over. They will not be going for defensive dive. They have to make it work because you can't set up with this comp much more aggressively. You don't really have dive outside of the Tracer, so strategically, I'm surprised by what Rhinos Gaming is doing because, again, there's little to nothing to show from their attacking phase.
Yeah, and Envy, even with his prowess that he's displayed so far on this Zarya, still really risky. Taking this one in when there's only a minute on the clock, a limited amount of time. So will not have a Graviton Surge. You'd have to expect to try to stop this one. You can see they're not even going to contest the start of this payload push. They're going to be playing back in normal spots.
Probably get a lot of surprise information here. No halt at the start, like you say. One team fight only really available to Rhinos Gaming.
Dala already poking out, trying to get a kill here. In onto Oxo, takes him low, but he makes it back
When
safely.
are they going to drop down? It's going to be soon.
I mean, they have to get right on top of this one much further, and that's going to be the game. Into the back line goes a tune, trying to go ahead and build up onto that pulse bomb as quickly as he possibly can. Navi keeping him alive, throwing out those orbs of harmony. They find Envy, they get rid of him, but Rio does go down at the same time. Wings holding on desperately. They get the Zenyatta. Could that be it? Oxo has that pulse bomb, going to be looking for the stick, going to be looking to take down somebody if he can just finally find it.
Heroic stuff from Oxo. Where will the pulse bomb go, though?
But if Oxo dies, that very well could be the hopes of Wings going down. They need that pulse bomb. They need it to stick and to get some kills. They pop the mech onto Creed. That's buying them some desperately needed time here for the Wings. They pushing forward, trying to keep track of the Genji. Comes into the backside with the Dragon Bait, dashing forward, looking for a Gape. One more hit would do it, but he gets taken down. Meanwhile, a Gape does fall. The biotic grenade taking him out, and he goes down as well into the overtime. Just a couple more meters is all that Afreeca need to force this one up. Nano boost coming through in onto Envy, still so very far away from that ultimate. Gets a little bit done, pops the mech yet again onto Creed, but Mango and Oxo have died. Envy going low, he gets taken out. The push starting to come through, self-destruct into the back line, finds Creed. Fury picking up a kill, trying to buy the time, but he cannot do it. Afreeca Freecs Red keep the hopes alive. They're taking us to game 5.
Really skeptical of the defense set up there by Rhinos Gaming. They had to know what to expect after just experiencing the defensive dive. And like you say, 98%, 99% on the Zarya, but so unlikely to ever build it up during a minute of play. So it feels like, it is a bit of blind expectations. It is a bit of a blind rock, paper, scissors advantage to Afreeca Freecs Red. And this is not the Afreeca Red we've saw in the first 2 maps of this particular set. And they're primed for the reverse sweep.
They really are. It's all going to come down to one final hybrid map. Rhino's choice, yet again. Dorado not working out for them. See what they want to go ahead and try to piece together. We saw Hollywood to start things off. Eichenwald is there. Maybe that's where it all ends.
We're on hybrid. Close out a week to close out this series to decide the 6th and final team going through to Apex. You can see what's on the line. Amount of heart that Afreeca Freecs Red have shown coming through from our earlier match today between Kings Row and Eichenwald. Kings Row is certainly the popular choice. Will it be the choice today? It is. We're going ultra standard for our final map. Remember that Afreeca Freecs Red played in our first series of the day. They started play at 1 p.m. local time. It is now 10 p.m. They have been playing Overwatch off and on for 9 hours already, so fatigue is also a real consideration.
Yeah, but right now it doesn't seem to be affecting them extreme focus these last two maps is what we've seen from the Freecs, and Rhinos, the ones beginning to falter.
And this is the land point. This is when you're on live for Rhinos Gaming, second in Challenger. All of that out the window. A best of one to decide if you can graduate to the big guns, to be the only team to represent Rhinos Gaming. And Freecs Red, they're hoping their experience can hold them true.
This is it. This is actually it, ladies and gentlemen. Fifth and final map of the last best of 5 of Superweek. Freecs Red, Rhinos Gaming Wings. Everything on the line. Their Apex Season 3 hopes could be brought to reality or completely shut down right here, right now, as we enter King's Row. Let's see who's going to close it out, who's going to be advancing, and who's going to be spending the next couple months in Challenger. Certainly a fate they'd both like to avoid. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and dive right into the finale.
I get it.
The desperate cheers coming out of the fans still, holding on tight to their hopes and dreams, very much like the players are inside of the booths.
But is it going to be the rising confidence of Freecs Red, or is it going to be the sinking feeling for the side of Rhinos Gaming Wings to be so far ahead going into our first break? But understand people turning off the stream thinking, yep, they've got it. They were the favorites to make it through of the 3 teams. All of that counts for nothing. And this is a really interesting spot, and fatigue is a really hard one to gauge. Remember, Rhinos Gaming played a 3-0 just before this, 8th map in a row, basically playing more than a best of 7.
It almost replicated
in one go, and hard to say exactly what was done with the time for Freecs Red when they started play at 1 p.m. today. Here's the opening. Oxo is looking for a Sonic arrow, backing away.
Going to be starting things off
Dive
now
comp.
with McCree. Dive comp
On defense
oddly,
again.
Yeah. Afreeca still wanting to opt in with this one. You can tell just how aggressively they want to play, but if they lose Tidal Attune, then their comp can just completely fall apart.
Feels like the comps have been reversed. It feels like the A should be on the other side, given just how the comps are set up.
Yep, flashbang not really going to connect here. Finds
Nice
the tune.
headshot.
Yeah, really well done there, Oxo. The fadeaway. They get Tidal. That's going to be a big window here to push forward for Wings. They look for that first point. We've seen a lot of teams go ahead and claim this very early on. You can already see it looks like the concede is going to come through for Afreeca Red.
Now they will concede.
Exactly.
Exactly. They're going to concede to a point. Unlikely to see a complete contest. You see Rio in the back line.
Oh, nice flashbang. Oxo trying to stay alive. Go ahead and roll back into the health pack, but with the wraparound there from Attune, do help take down the McCree.
65.
Almost have that completion. Yeah, 65. Now going to be V4 as Quartermain goes
Whoa,
down.
no.
But there we go. Massive kills coming through for Wings as they go ahead and try to complete this. Attune just trying to be a nuisance, buy as much time for his team as he can, but 5.5 minutes on the clock now for Wings as they go into the streets phase.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that Freecs Red tried to get creative when they lost their first couple of members. Rio go around the back. Toon joined him and they got the pick onto McCree, but by the time they dived onto the point, out of position, and the triple tank on the side of Rhinos Gaming does the business on the push, and they will soon have Graviton Surge.
We know how well that does in the streets phase. Just so many tight walls, you can get the entire team contained with
And
that.
you've absolutely prepped against triple tank on the street space if you're Freecs Red, but you kind of forget, wait, they're going to have ult charge as well.
Well, speaking of which, that's going to be the Nano Boost coming through, but the Earth Shatter locks down the Genji into that pin. Mte taking out Tidal single-handedly. Quartermain rather far forward, just trying to kite away, buy some time. The flashbang lands, as is the headshot from Oxo, showing off some pretty extreme accuracy here with his McCree. He'll get jumped on by Rio in that primal range, but the pin comes through. He snipes him in the middle of the charge.
But the scary thing, like I was just saying, is they're going to roll into the always contested final point with Graviton Surge, with an ult advantage, because they never had to make the swap. They went for a streets comp to push point A, pulled it off, and now they're in an aggressive camping spot, waiting for that last second contest.
All right, well, 3-3 as far as the ultimate's concerned. That Dragon Blade there for Tidal. See him go ahead and pull that one out. We also hear it coming down. Graviton Surge, so he is thrown out by Envy, but both the healers have already fallen on the side of Wings. Oxo also going down. Fury only able to answer one onto Rio with that bigger bang. And that will stop Wings in their tracks, so honestly, a very good hold here for Afreeca.
2 ults for no gain on the side of Rhinos Gaming. They are halted as the Graviton Surge is not critical in the end. Still going to be some ults to work with, but surprise defense there from Afreeca. It felt like Rhinos Gaming were primed to take the snowball 2 points with their bold comp choice, but for now will be forced to regroup.
So a decent hold coming through from Afreeca as they just try to work that clock down as low as possible, preventing a second point. While rare, and I honestly don't even know if we've seen it this week. I can't really remember if we have a second point hold from any team here on Kings Row. It'd be damn impressive. It would set them up for pretty much the win, you'd have to think. It's gonna be the Nano Boost coming through yet again now. On to Tydala, doesn't have the Dragon Blade, just trying to go ahead and pick that one up. Now barrier coming through, keeping Wings safe, but it does cause them to have to kite back. They lose that ultimate. They get 1 kill onto Creed as they try to push back forward. Earthshatter coming down, not gonna find anybody. Tydala going low on the retreat. Dash around the wall, punches them right in midair. Comes up with a kill. Pulse bomb coming down, does get Umte. You can see MV just gonna be taking a quick little nap, but there's not really any kill pressure on him.
Now it pulls back. Well, we see the last second contest so often the case, but the respawns will take time to get there.
Yeah, Creed going forward.
Okay.
On his lonesome, trying to buy some time here for the rest of the team. Quartermain's going to be respawning in just a couple seconds here. And a boost thrown down onto Envy. Has a Graviton Surge. He will toss this one out. Thought maybe he would hold it. They're going for the bigger bang. It gets the explosion out, and Rio and Tydala both go down. And that might just be enough for the completion. And there we go. 3 minutes, 43 seconds. Back on the clock for Wings. They keep pushing in. They keep getting these last-second executions. Quartermain trying to stay alive, but ends up jumping off the map.
Both healers die at the end. They will be the last to stagger in. Maybe not the biggest for the Ana, still be able to get into position, but Lucio being the last to spawn is always a big problem. Only now back up.
There's only one ultimate here. Tydala with that blade. Could have the Nano Blade rather soon as Navi is trying to stack it up. But still, a bit of time for Wings to play with. Could go ahead and use this for some eco pushes, try to poke in. Their ultimates back up. Dala getting a really nice kill since he dashes through Oxo. You can see Freecs will go ahead and push back up towards point B for the time being. Force them back, heal up, get recouped.
Support ultimates really lacking on the side of Rhinos Gaming Wings. Specifically, the sound barrier is going to be needed against Nanoblade, and even then, not always the correct tonic. Only just a zoning ultimate in the Deadeye available for Rhino Gaming.
Navi trying to heal in from the backside, so shots in on Tydala, keeping them topped off. Deadeye coming through, they're gonna go ahead and boost them straight into the blade.
How this goes.
Dashing through, but that's gonna be a slave as he gets locked down into the pin, and he gets taken out, but 2 kills picked up by Rio. Agape and Oxo both falling. So they trade Tydala for 2. Afreeca probably gonna be decently happy with that, even with the double ultimate investment. Trying to build back up for yet another Graviton Surge. Only at 75%, he doesn't quite have it. Ente still a ways away from that Earthshatter.
I think you take it though if you're Rhinos Gaming. The Nanoblade being down relieves pressure from the backline, which is very strong from Rhinos Gaming.
That's going to be the self-destruct tossed out. Ente there for the block, but it can't get behind the shield. He gets taken out, and that's going to be another big window here for Afreeca to just keep pushing up. They go ahead, sweep right through 4 members. Off the bat, and Fury, he's left out of the suit, gets taken down off the end. Oxo, the only one left alive. And it looks like Afreeca, if they can just continue this, will be able to hold this in front of point 3.
Which probably isn't a sufficient push if you're Rhinos Gaming Wings. We've seen the cart push basically to the end on every single push, but there's no more Genji. The Genji's been swapped off, the ults are starting to come in. If no one is picked, really big wombo available to Rhinos Gaming.
Oh, charge coming through here from Rio, gets locked down by that sleep dart immediately. It stood back up, with Shatter coming through, locking down a couple people here. Envy poking back, trying to get some damage in. Has a Graviton Surge ready, but hasn't felt the necessity to use it yet. Multiple kills coming through for Wings. They get Quartermain right off the end of this. This is going to give them a pretty considerable push. Bigger bang coming out, a double kill as Dala and Attune both fall. Freed on the high ground, trying to stay safe, trying to keep himself healthy.
A lot of meterage coming here, may not be the complete contest. You see Diva.
Yep, it's 50 seconds left in here. Freed still playing forward, almost loses the mech, dashes back, keeps himself safe and empty, takes out Rio. Fury just trying to build back up for yet another self-destruction. Won't quite have it, but Quartermain and Dala go down yet again. Umte has that Earthshatter, but that's just going to be the push. Doesn't even need it. 33 seconds left on the clock. Rhinos, they had a lot of time to be burned. Their time bank gets minimized pretty considerably, but they don't have to finish in overtime.
And we shouldn't be surprised that Envy was on point with his Graviton, so didn't use it when they got the first 2 picks, then kept it to stagger the back timers coming through from the side of Afreeca Freecs Reds. They do get the completion, which is expected on Kings Row. It feels like this map by far is the largest or the most likely of the hybrid maps to be completed. And now all action onto Afreeca Freecs Red. I want to do it in a damn good time. 33 seconds in the time bank is massive when you're talking about the new system where it's all about percentage capture if both teams hit 3 points. Basically, if you lose in overtime, it's not a guarantee for Rhinos Gaming with 33 seconds, but man, they are set up to win the map.
Now, this is a really nice start for them. We sort of would have said the same, though, about Dorado. They pushed it all the way to the end, one of the few teams able to do that, and Afreeca matched them, so maybe we could see Afreeca, who will be still piloting this time comp. They've been feeling very comfortable on these last couple maps. Maybe they can amass that time bank, get a faster cap on point A, and then finish off with more than 33 seconds here. Try to win in that overtime.
I think it's hard to explain to our viewers just how important it is to make it into Apex. Sure, some global teams get invited, they appreciate the time, they get to have a nice holiday, they learn about Korean scrim culture. But for the Korean teams, the step up is massive. The fight money that OGN provides in a scene without Kesper teams, without big backing from most of the orgs, is not trivial. If you watch the B-sides after the Apex finals, you see the downside of being in an esport in its infancy is still a relative lack of funding. The difference here between the winning team and the losing team is massive, and it's such a big prize for whoever can stick the land.
Yep. Waterman coming back here, swapping over onto that Lucio as they begin the push. See how well they can play the flanks with the Tune and Ty Dollar. Gonna be looking to stack up those ultimates very quickly. Jumping in from the hotel here. Here's Ty Dollar looking for something.
Yeah, they get some percentage already. They're pushing them back, but of course the contest will come.
And they shove them back into the choke. Tay was certainly going to be looking for that charge. So I'll set the flame strike. We'll come up with a bunch of a big heal tonight coming out for the bionic grenade, and that's going to be the opening for Ty Dollar on the dashboard. Get a game. They do lose Rio. He'll go down. Ty Dollar can't get away from those Reinhardt swings. But they already have the double checkpoint here on the control meter, so a very nice start here for Afreeca Red.
Yeah, really nice pushback. You know, you have to keep the formation when you go for a comp like Rhinos Gaming, when you have this Reinhardt and McCree that they've run pretty consistently on defense, and thus you give away free checkpoints. $5 Dragon Blade is probably exactly what they need to force any more, but now the defense will be dogged.
Dollar trying to go ahead, poke forward, trying to get that Dragon Blade up, 75%, and Toon does have the Pulse Bomb ready to go. Gonna get to the back line, tries to drop it, the shield's there, however, from the Zarya, keeping him alive, and Envy, speaking of which, gonna go ahead and drop that Graviton Surge, has the Nano Boost, chasing in onto Ty Dollar, trying to kill him off, so not focusing his energy forward towards the point, chases a bit too deep there for the Genji, but overall, still gonna be pretty good times for Wings as they try to push back in.
So even on the point, Envy's dead.
Still trying to go ahead and contest this one. Envy able to get the pop onto Creed's mech, but overall that's not going to be enough. They throw down that sound barrier.
Big advantage for Freecs Red here.
Yeah, nobody on the point. They'll go ahead and they cap this one. 4 minutes, 42 seconds.
And I got to say it was a mistake with 98% charge to just run after the Nano, but you understand the theory. Stop the Nano Blade from taking it out, but it was just the Nano Boost. Never Dragon Blade popped. If it was both, maybe the validity. But when you have that much charge and the Nano Boost yourself, Graviton Surge up as well, it was mismanaged in the end by Envy.
I mean, even then, even if the blade was available, he still would have had to run all the way back around, so getting damage in was highly unlikely. It just seems like a very odd decision there from Wings to go chasing that deep, and now he's got the blade ready to go. Dashing in, looking for the kills, but actually gets taken out immediately, so Envy, this time he finds the target, getting rid of him. See Oxo actually respawning, coming back in on Afreeca.
Interesting to see, not a lot of long-range damage on the other side as the fight continues.
Yeah, Envy having that high energy, still just trying to burn out multiple members, able to find the kill here onto a Tune. They pop Creed out of the mech, they take him down to the end. A decent hold, 4 Wings on this first corner. See how far forward they want to keep playing. They do have another nano boost here from Mango. They have the Graviton Surge. Envy moving up towards that high ground to try to surprise them from behind, perhaps.
And of course, Oxo can now establish his own high ground as the Farah. Very rarely seen on defense on the streets phase, but
even on this map on defense is pretty damn rare, you'd have to say.
Maybe as a response to a team that always runs Pharmacy on attack, but they're trying to fight here.
Here we go. That's
just
the nano boost here on to Tidala. Graviton Surge comes through. He's trying to block as much as he can, but he's locked in by himself with Rio. They'll get taken down. Boost yet again used on the Envy. The most reliable target, you'd have to say, so far. Gets the pop onto Creed's suit yet again. They take him down. Self-destruct won't find much. And Afreeca now desperately throwing out these ultimates, but coming up short every time.
Because of the Farah being picked and the cart being contested so early, it's not about the last second contest that we always see at point 2. They're actually just trying to legit hold this game with the Farah in the middle of the streets phase.
Honestly, I really do like this from Wings. They still have a decent amount of time. They'll get respawns in for one last ditch effort in front of point 2 if they lose here. For now, though, this is working out quite well. Gildenite coming through onto he's still alive, throws down the Earth Shatter, only finds one, and it's onto Creed, who's still in the mech. He'll get popped back up, however, so not going down. And it's still another high energy push coming through here for Envy. Trying to keep shoving back. It's going to be sound barriers from both teams. No one going down yet. Just trying to work through those shields for the moment. Graviton Surge about to come up. 100 energy just about here for Envy. Burns through Rio.
Envy's a monster.
And honestly, might be able to hold on to this ultimate for a little bit longer. Gets in onto Tidala. Hasn't tossed it out yet, but still shoves them back into point A.
They keep holding it in the streets phase. One of the longest holds this early in the streets phase we've seen in recent memory. And once again, Afreeca Red get the chance to regroup. They will continue to make no changes. They have a lot of ult percentage, but no ults.
Still a barrage here from Oxo that they also have to worry about, and Wings are holding on to 3.
Be a nano barrage as well.
Yeah,
that is
very
available.
well could see that one. Here we go, though. That's going to be the Graviton Surge coming down.
Just taken out.
Yeah, the Deadeye from Attune does kill him off. Now Envy still trying to come up with something, throws down that barrier onto Umti, trying to get his energy back up to 100. He's pretty damn close, and Umti still going to be okay. Shining back now, shield up, throws out the Earth Strider, finds 4 members, goes in with the charge, gets the pin, but no kills have come of it yet. Umti going low, and now Envy trying to make up for lost time, firing away with that beam, but gets clipped by the Earth Shatter from Rio off the backside. 2 kills now, coming in for Afreeca Red. Ultimates available to them. They're trying to continue the push, still being contested by Wings for the moment, but with Fury going down, that's going to be the kite back from the remaining members of Rhinos, and Afreeca finally find the opening. It looks so good for Wings to maintain, but Afreeca, they fire back.
Yeah, utter madness in the middle of the streets phase, but now they're looking for the snowball 2-point capture.
Graviton Surge thrown down, Attune firing off the sidelines, does not have the Deadeye, but they find Oxo with the Flame Strike. Rio does pay for this one with his life, and Tidala pushing up a little bit too aggressively, goes low, almost falls down. A couple more hits would have done it for him. And B having another Graviton Surge, finds the Attune on the backside, takes him out, but again, a solo Graviton Surge, just trying to delay as much as they can. They get rid of the McCree. It's 30 seconds on the clock. Afreeca's life depends on pushing this to point 2.
They don't necessarily have all the tools they'll want either, but they have to make the most of it. Watch here for a really big self-destruct. Only 2 ults on the side of Rhino Gaming Wings. It's going to be an overtime push, you'd have to think.
Creed looking for the multi-kills, not going to be able to find it. Doesn't even pop the shield away from MT. They'll be holding on tight. Sleep coming through. It's going to stand back up. High energy yet again. Now the Deadeye coming out. Attune looking for the snipe.
Nothing.
Can't find anything. Doesn't get the kills. Now into overtime. Self-destruct. Tossed out by Fury. Gets Navi. Creed is dead. Wings trying to hold on. This is going to be it. If they could just complete this wipe, they would win the game. They'd win their way into Apex. Envy, he goes low. Gets popped back up. The biotic grenade buying him so much time. Graviton Surge holding in Afreeca Red, but nobody is going down. They're still holding firm. Dala takes out Oxo, the flashbang in onto Envy, doesn't take him out. He's still pushing forward, has another Graviton Surge, pops it out yet again.
4 members,
all siphoned
they're all dying,
and they're all just getting annihilated. Navi going down on the soldier, the desperation move, trying to sprint back to the point, but Creed falls. That's the wipe, and that's the win for Rhinos Gaming Wings. They take the win over Afreeca Red, and they earn themselves a spot in Apex Season 3.
Someone get Envy a back rub. This man put his team on his back, cleaned them out with a massive Graviton Surge, so consistent throughout the course of today, and just about done it as Rhinos Gaming. It took to the last, devastating loss for the side of Afreeca Freecs Red. The 6th theme to go through to Apex was the hardest fought one of all. 6th match played already, Rhinos Gaming wings. They took the longest possible route to Apex from second in Challenger to the last member at 10:25 p.m. local time in Korea. Take a bow, Rhinos Gaming, and big, big consolations and consolances to the side of Afreeca Freecs Red.
So hard fought from both teams. Afreeca just unable to complete the push to get that extra time in the bank. They cannot do it, and Rhinos, as an org, have a team back into Apex for the first time since Season 1.
And the best thing to me is, as you say, parity among the orgs. That part is already good. It's great to have an inclusive Apex. But the best part to me about the defense was, and in fact the whole course of this last set, is that innovation almost always was the reason a team won. For example, taking the Pharah on the streets phase, looking for an aggressive defense rather than just hanging back. We criticized the same team for taking a very static defense in overtime on Dorado. The most curveballs stuck this game, and that's what I want Overwatch to be. I think that's what everyone wants Overwatch to be. The constant rock, paper, scissors. It just about went to Rhinos Gaming, but damn if people want ripping out